Ganon, biglaan.
Asan yung ano natin dito? Yan o. Asan na?
Hello?
Yun o.
Alin?
Dapat nakatutugyan
Yung?
Yan.
Itong Atsus.
Huwag mo na yan.
Yan.
Minute.
Iwag, bumabagal ako dyan eh.
Hindi ka bumabagal. Mupogi ka dyan lalo.
Punto. Pinto ka, brother. Tingnan mo, wala na. Wala na akong kausap.
Oo. Nagpalit na naman ako ng ano. Teka lang ha. Yun. Kumusta yung signal ko dyan sa'yo? Mabagal ba ako?
Baka ako yung mabagal.
Hindi. Kasi lumalabas sa akin yung symbol dito. Pero yan, bumabalik naman. Nakawala na. Good evening. Good evening ko na paparazzi. Mga Caciques. Muy, ano ba yung magandang gabi in Espanyol?
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Amigos y amigos. ¿Cómo se dice? Azucarera de papa.
¿Cómo se dice?
Está muy bien.
¿Cómo se dice Pacquiao en Tagalog?
Yo te amo. Sinong yote? Yo te amo?
Estamos, motherfucker.
Estamos. Gumusta po kayo dyan, ha? Magandang gabi. And, we have our usual friends here all over. And, bakit ba tayo bumalik dito sa Asukal? Hindi na ito tungkol kay ano, ha? Kaya, como está Mr. Como Tikia. No hay más Tikia. No hay más Tikia. Buenas noches.
Who are you talking about?
No hay más Tikia.
No hay más
Tikia anoche.
No hay más danom.
No hay más
Awanen.
Okay. Correct. What are we talking about? Kasi itong ating kalang-galang na Senado. Ang haba ng kanilang intro kanina. Nakatulog ka na nga lang, di ba? Kakapanood ng kanilang intro pa lang.
Kanina, di ba, tulog na ako?
Como es Senyor Senador Wisik Subiri.
Estamos
Senyor Subiri, su haciendero de Mindanao. Ha? Kilala niyo ba yun? Si Senyor Subiri?
El Azucarera Central.
De Mindanao.
El Azucarera Central.
Okay. Sus, kung magpaligoy-ligoy sa issue, di ba? Parang mga walang alam.
Biskot, ano siya ko signal, yawa.
Mga biskot yun. Nakag-signal yun. You can see you very clearly. Maybe it's my transmission to you. Is my transmission good? Estoy bien? Mi transmisión de la interneto? Estoy bien?
Lang ko ano eh.
Ayaw, okay lang mong signal. I can see you. You can be heard very well. Anyway, ang haba nung kanilang intro kanina, no? Para bang wala silang alam sa issue. Maniniwala ba kayo pag sinabi kong matagal na nilang alam to? Estoy klaro. Wag kang tatas-taas ng kilay dyan. Nakikita namin yan. Kala mo, hindi. Escucho bien. Yung sino bang nanood ng hearing kanina? Sa Senado? Meron?
Oh my God.
Bago yan. Ayos muna ako dito ng banner natin, attorney. Kasi itong ating mga senador, mga kagalang-galang talaga. Meron pang Pia Cayetano na napakagaling naman sana, di ba? Nagmamaang-maangan na hindi niya alam na ang asukal ay maari namang hindi makasira sa katawan kapag yan ay hindi processed. At itong namang si kagalang-galang na Subiri, parang walang alam na mangyayari yung SRO number 4. Okay. Alam niyo ba na bago pa mag-eleksyon, mainit na ito na usapin pala? Ha? Wala pang eleksyon.
Na-surprise siya?
Na-surprise ko sila, pero ngayon, upon my research, Azucarera,
I get.
buwan de Abril, es muy, muchas, chabi-chabi, hanggang Amerika, hasta la vista, Amerika. Ay nako. Gusto niyo makita, no, kung anong pinagsasabi natin dito. Pero bago yan, lagay muna natin itong ating like and share. Ay, hindi pala like and share yan. Ating AGP Live. So, ang ating topic ngayon ay Azucarera de Papa. Ay, bakit Azucarera lang? Diba yan? Sige, bago yan, like and share muna. Dapat Azucarera de Papa. Diba? Pag sinabi mong Azucarera de Papa, ano ba ibig sabihin yan? Rocky. Kilala mo yun? Rocky. Azucarera de Papa. Yan ay... Okay, balik tayo. Wait lang. Like and share, Like and share. Ang Azucarera. Ano saan na naman itong batang ito? Nawala na naman. Yun, Okay. Ano ba nangyayari sa ating asukal? By the way, yung mga ng ating mga senador kanina nakakatawa. Parang hindi nila alam kung saan kukunin yung mga statistika. Statistika. When we say statistika, in English, it is statistics. Na para bang walang updated statistika itong Sugar Regulatory Administration. Ngayon, itong asukar natin na industriya, meron pala tayong kasaysayan dito ng pagbulusok ng ating exports, okay? But ang pinaka-last natin na dapat tingnan ay yung ating pulling quota sa United States na dapat tayo ay nag-export doon. At we stopped exporting there since 2021. And itong year na to, 2022, and then 2023, we are expected still not to be able to comply with our obligations to export sugar to the United States. Why are you there? This Sugar Regulatory Administration is a very good administration because they are very, very updated. Okay. Magsimula muna tayo sa isang issue. Issue kaya tayo kagad, ano? Sige. Simulan natin dito sa... ano ba maganda? Ito. Dito tayo. Ito ay galing sa... Nakikita niyo naman yung website sa taas, no? USDA. United States Department of Agriculture. Now, they have reported here that there's a forecast that there will be decline in marketing year 2023 by as much as 50,000 metric tons, of our production in this country called Las Islas Pilipinas. Okay? So, bababa daw tayo to 2 million metric tons ang ating production by next year dahil sa mataas na fertilizer prices. And because of that, they are expecting na bababa yung ating yield. Okay? And then, itong taon na to is also going to be reduced as we have seen from the data that we have discussed. No? Dahil yan sa Typhoon Odette na nangyari noong 2021 December. So ito lang December. No? Just about 8 months ago. So there will be a lower sugar output and that we will not be able to comply again with our but the forecast usage of sugar for 2023 is going to be 2.3 million metric tons. Therefore, we will be needing to import 300,000 metric tons for next year. Yan ba yung kanilang pinaghahandaan dun sa Sugar Regulatory Order number 4? Hindi natin alam. Pero dito ko
Hindi natin
nagtaka.
alam.
Ha? Dito ako nagtaka. Basahin mo nga, Atty. Ahmed, yung number, yung last sentence niya. Philippine media,
Pakilakihan siya ng liit.
hindi nyo ba nakikita?
Hindi ko makita. Philippine media have reported on a draft sugar order to authorize 250,000 metric tons of refined sugar and 100,000 metric tons of raw sugar imports. At the time of this GAIN report, the Sugar Regulatory Administration has not issued a fourth sugar order. It approved it would contribute to greater imports and consumption.
So when was this? When was this? When did the USDA make this report? Quien. Ano ba yung Espanyol na when nga rod? Ano ba ang Espanyol ng when? At pañero. Que estamos sa Espanyol when nga
Ano
rod?
tinutukoy mo?
Hindi, ikaw, tinatanong kita, ano ba ang Espanyol ng when? Como?
When?
Como?
Si.
When?
Si.
When
nga rod? When?
Cuando?
Hindi si yun.
Cuando está el reportero de Estados Unidos? Abril 18, 2022. Abril. Tinan nyo. Okay, anong page ba tayo? 11, ha? 11. This one was issued in the United States in April 18. So matagal na pala itong issue na to. Hindi pa tayo nagkaroon ng eleksyon, meron na palang desisyon na mag-import ng 350,000 metric tons ang ating Sugar Regulatory Authority. Okay, at sabi dito, sa page number 12. Number 3. Number. Hindi ko na alam. Okay. Basta ang sabi ay talagang mag-import tayo niyan ayon sa media ng Pilipinas. At ano naman yung kaya yung mga nireport nila? Alam mo ba yun, Atty.?
Hindi.
Alam mo ba yun na matagal na itong napag-desisyonan? Di ba nagtatanong tayo last time, meron ba yung ano yun? Yung work, ano yun sabi yun? CWA? Yung complete, ano yun? CPW? Complete Personnel Work, ano yun? CWP. Complete Work Program. Naalala mo yung last natin na discussion nito? Nagkaroon ng CWP.
Complete staffing work. CSW.
Oo, CSW. Okay. Yun. So ito pala ay matagal na pagdesisyonan. Kasi nung April 18 niya, nai-report na ng United States sa kanilang gobyerno. So, tingnan natin, research natin April Business World. Ano nga ba may-ari nitong Business World? Business World Sugar import. Yan, sabay tayo. Tingnan natin. Still possible daw. Talagang pinag-aanuhan talaga nila to. Pinagigitan. Sabi nila ngayon, still possible. But noong April, okay, basahin nga natin to. April 11. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Ano yung ginagawa mo dyan, Atty. Ahmed? Parang busy-busy ka dyan.
May pinabasa ako,
Okay, sabi dito the United
Hindi dyan.
Sugar Producers Federation said Friday that it will seek to prosecute officials for contempt if they implement proposed sugar order number 4. This is in April 11, which calls for the import of 350,000 metric tons of raw and refined sugar. Alright? Si Zubiri ba ay may mga kinalaman dito sa usaping ito? Sabi nito, in February, Sagay City and Inline City Regional Trial Court issued separate preliminary injunctions against the import of 200,000 metric tons in sugar order number 3. So kumuha pala sila ng nito, TRO. And then itong number 4 na pinag-usapan na pala to nung Abril pa lang. Okay, I will personally bring sugar for Mr. Serapica's coffee in his jail cell when that happens. Sabi nitong this proposed SO number 4. Di ba? Sipin mo ganito yung sabi, I will personally bring sugar for Mr. Serapica's office in his jail cell when that happens. This proposed SO number 4 is a slap in the face of 2 regional trial courts here that issued rulings that to have any
Parang galit na galit yata.
program pending a final resolution to the cases that have been deemed to cause damage to the sugar industry, Mr. Lamata said. So itong ating sugar industry pala is really very, very vehemently against the importation. The order is tantamount to a midnight deal that will obviously greatly benefit the industrial users. Ano kaya itong nag-aaway talaga dito? Parang nasa gitna tayo ng isang pag-uumpugan ng dalawang mga higantes. Ano nga ba yung Higantes Festival? Saan nga ba yung Higantes Festival? Naalala mo yun? Higantes.
Diyan sa may diyan lang yan sa may Rizal.
Ay, dito lang ba?
Hindi pala.
Hindi ba sa Bacolod yun?
Hindi ba sa Mindoro?
Dinagyang pala yung sa Bacolod, no? Dinagyang Festival. Okay. Particularly the bottling companies. Coke pala ito. Coke's mamang. This proposed import program is clearly favoring particular sector that is what we are against. Notwithstanding the cases in court that are proposing is a clear indication that Administrator Serapica will go to any lengths. Si Serapica naman pala may problema eh.
Yung yung DA.
No. Siya yung administrator.
Yung secretary siya, di ba? Si Serapica?
No, he is the
administrator. Sorry.
Okay? So ano nangyari dito kay Yusek? Ano to, nadamay lang ba si Yusek? Mascara pala. Asan yung dinagyang? Alam ko yung dinagyang eh. Quien is tu viejo con su pasta. Higantes Festival ba yung Cavite? Hindi, yung dinagyang doon ba yun sa Sa
Iloilo yata yung Higantes.
Iloilo. Tapos, bakit ba natin yung pinag-uusapan yung mga ano na yan? Mga festival na yan. Festival! Tingnan kaya natin itong Sino ba kasi makikinabang nito? Tingnan lang natin itong mga report. Saglit lang. Pagbigyan ng isa katao, okay? Okay, regulator says sugar imports needed to address. Okay. So, in April 11, naglabas ang Business World ng balita na galing kay oras ito 8:18. Wait. Sorry. Yun yung galing kay sa side ng mga manufacturer. Anong oras ba ito? Okay, itong sugar industry and contempt of court, ang oras nito ay 12:03 a.m. Okay, so madaling araw siyang ginawa. Okay, at ang nagsulat ay Reuters. Picture lang pala. Okay, walang nakasulat kung sinong writer. But at 8 a.m., okay, tingnan niyo yung messaging. Messaging or messaging?
Messaging.
massaging. Okay? And at 8 a.m., madaling araw, nilabas nila yon. So, nasa side yun ng mga producer. Pero sabi naman nila pagdating ng alas 8 ng gabi na pala, the following day, the Sugar Regulatory Administration said the draft order authorizing 350,000 metric tons of sugar
Wala
is
talaga
intended to backstop domestic supply following shortfall in local production. Sabi ni Sirapika, what the detractors of imports have failed to consider is the issue of food security, in particular, the availability of supply and the issue of affordability of sugar. Huy, exit ka dyan. Okay. So as such, and coupled with the increase in demand for sugar due to the opening up of the economy, the SRA has determined that there won't be enough local production of sugar to meet our domestic consumption in the coming months, particularly June to August. So the SRA recently put forward sugar order number 4, which calls for the import of 250,000 metric tons of refined sugar, of which 150,000 metric tons is to be premium grade or butler's grade. Butler, the remaining 100,000 metric tons will consist of raw sugar. Sabay bawi, sabay linis. So yung isa, dadalhan pa doon nila ng asukal para panimpla sa kape ni Sirapika. Pagdating ng hapon, bawi. Balance.
Bawi na.
No? Balance. Yun yung tawag natin, balanced news reporting. Business world. Magaling ito eh. So, kahit alin, di ba? Both sides meron. Pero yung isa, nirelease, yes, 12 na madaling araw. Ito, ang gabi.
Yung ito,
Alright.
ganito talaga yung kanilang controversy dyan.
Ano? No? Gigantes
Yung
Island
sa
sa
sugar,
Iloilo.
SRB.
Yun, sabi, Gigantes Island daw sa Iloilo. May Gigantes Island sa Iloilo. Wala silang Gigantes Festival. Gigantes Festival sa Angono. Okay.
Sa Angono. Di ba sa may Antipolo yan? Ay, sa may Rizal yan?
Hindi dinagyang ang Cebu. Ang sa Cebu is Sinulog. Yung dinagyang is somewhere in
Aklan. Ay, hindi pala. Ati-atihan pala
Kalibo.
doon.
Kalibo.
Ati-atihan doon. Ati-atihan doon.
Ati-atihan yung akyan. Okay. So, sugar. Okay? Ayan. Ito yung tanong. Ano ba yung sinasabi ng business world ngayon, ha? Kanina lang. Pwede pa rin
lang yan sinabi ng business world?
Ito, 11 hours ago. Kanina lang. August 15, sabi ng business world. Manila. Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos said the country's doors remain open to additional sugar imports, though volumes are likely to be much less than the previously proposed. 300,000. Wala namang nagsabi na hindi tayo mag-import. Tama naman yun. Okay? Mr. Marcos last week rejected the proposal to import 300,000 of raw and refined sweetener proposed to be approved by the Sugar Regulatory Administration, of which is the board chairman. Okay, post daw sa blog, the Office of the President Facebook on Sunday assured the public that the country has sufficient sugar supplies. So, did the President say this? Did you hear of the President saying that he will be, ang sinabi niya,
Sa
before
kanyang
we
blog?
import sugar, o na tayo ay mag-import, before we import sugar, let us
Ano
use
yung
the
blog niya?
supply that we have. Maybe by October, the supply in the Philippines will almost be used up. Maybe then we may import. Maaari naman siguro. Sinabi ba niya? Probably 150,000 tons is enough for the rest of the year. Sabi kaya ito. Pwede siguro. But anyway, ang punto is, yes, kahit naman sino sa ating gobyerno ang tatanungin, opisyal, ay hindi naman po nila talaga sinasaraduhan yung punto ng pag-import. Ang importante is ang timing at saka yung quantity para hindi ma-flood yung ating local industry. Local industry. Sino nga ba may-ari nitong business world? Ulit? Sino ba makakasagot? Please. Sino may-ari nito?
Dali lang,
Ay,
ino-google ko.
Hi, Ma'am Nila. May Gcash po tayo, Ma'am Nila. Anyway. Sino ba may-ari ng Business World?
Si Raul Locsin.
Talaga?
Miguel Belmonte ang presidente ngayon.
Sure? Hindi ba may request?
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
No.
Ang founder ni si Raul Locsin, patay na pala
Okay,
siya.
but do they still
Ang
own it?
kanyang presidente ngayon ay si Miguel G. Belmonte.
Pwede ganon, empleyado. Pero sino ang stockholders? Main stockholders. Yung Business World. Okay, habang hinahanap ni Ahmed kung sino ang main stockholder ng Business World. Ano ba to? Okay. Ito pa lang ating sugar industry. Okay, ating sugar industry. Okay. Ang ating sugar industry is really in a bad shape. Okay, let us put that in the limelight right now because this is the more important. Yan na. Okay. Wait na. Hold on to that information. Okay. So, ito pa lang ating why was it in trouble in the first place? Okay, now this report by NEDA, this is the most important part nitong discussion na to. La Azucarera de Papa está muy problemado. Okay? Es series there are 55,250. Pag sinabing farmers, hindi yan yung mismong nagtatanim but farmer groups owning 5 hectares or less.
Oh, okay,
55,000
MVP. Si MVP ang
Business World. Okay. Now, this one is the result of our comprehensive agrarian reform law. Now, ang problema pala nito, tingnan mo, nadagdagan pa yan kasi nga, kailangan nakalagay sa batas Ipamigay yan sa mga Caciques. Hindi. Mga Caciques. Sa mga saklada. Ano yung saklada? Sakada. No, sakada. 5 hectares. So, pinaghati-hati yung mga hacienda ni su padre di papa. Okay? Yes, of course, no problem. You can always come back. Okay? Ay, may price? Yeah, meron kang price. Okay. Dahil dito sa pamimigay natin ng lupa sa mga farmers, yung productivity ng bawat 5 hectares na putol ng ating mga azucareras ay mababa. Pourquoi? There is no economies of scale. Planting sugarcane 50,000 square meters of sugarcane is not a productive activity. So you have to reconsolidate your ownerships under cooperatives or awang ko kung ano mga diskarte dito ngayon, no? Kasi nga ating mga farmers pala ay kailangan ngayong magsama-sama, magbubog-bubog para yung kanilang output ay magkaroon ng halaga. So much so that they will be able to realize economies of scale. Paano nga ba naman magtanim ng tubo na yan? What is the work involved in tubo? To grow
lang yata yun ang itatanim mo dyan is cutting din, parang pinutol
Yeah.
lang yung parang
After you
kawan
cut it, may trabaho ba yung farmers in between cutting and harvesting?
yung once you plant it, okay, kailangan mo siyang linisan kasi masukal yan eh, yung makapal yan eh. Tapos yung parang kanyang ganyan, yung kanyang trunk, eh may mga dahon kasi yan na nakadikit dyan. So pagka
Okay.
tumatangkad na yung tubo, yung mga dahon, parang mais, may mga dahon na naka
Oh,
na
ba't ka nag-freeze?
sheath sa kanya. Yung tinatanggal, pinamamahayan yung mga insekto, ganyan-ganyan. Tapos, nagiging nagra-rot yata pagka nakapag-collect ng water doon sa loob ng ano. Yung para yan siya, mura na siya bari sa saging ba? Kaya bitong
Yes.
yan, ganyan.
But do farmers need to work on it?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
They
They
do.
do? Every day?
Yeah.
Alright. But whatever it
Not
is.
every day. Kasi you also need to remove the weeds in between the line, yung
Mm.
yun nga, yung rows. Between rows may mga damo-damo na tumutubo diyan. They also need to clean that.
And there is
That's
now
when
this
that-
okay. Now the problem though is making those plots smaller, and then you have this Republic Act 8187. Okay, the Agricultural Tarification Act of 1996. Okay, and then there's another law which is earlier pa, which wait, what is that? Okay, which mandates this one, the 70-30 planters and millers sharing scheme. So this long analysis kasi sa NEDA to ng papel, ano, shows that there is a cacophony
What's
of
that?
issues.
May cacophony.
A cacophony of issues, which results in an inefficient industry, resulting to higher prices and at the same time lower production per hectare. And out of the low production, lower extrusion from or lower conversion from tubo to sugar. Why? Why is it why is it affected? Because ang sabi dito, there is no incentive for planters to increase their output, and at the same time there is disincentive for millers to invest in higher yield equipment for their milling, because whatever increase they will realize out of installing or investing in more efficient milling equipment, it will only result to higher share to the planters. Okay? And hindi nila napapakinabangan yung buong ang kino-compare nila is in the Philippines daw, our milling efficiency is only at 70%. Okay? While in Australia, it is 92%. So, ang dami nating natatapon na tubo at hindi natin napapakinabangan. Okay. And then there's this allocations. Alright? There's a problem with poor soil quality, lack of improved cane varieties, fragmented land ownership due to carp, and the generational partitioning has reduced productivity of sugarcane. Okay, while various modes of land consolidation have there's inadequate irrigation, low farm mechanization, inadequate financial capital. And then on the milling side na yung sinasabi natin, okay, and then meron pa ditong yung bioethanol na kumukuha pa dun sa output natin at dinadagdag natin dun sa biofuels. So, what is the problem in our industry dito sa sugar? Cacophony. Kasi hindi na natin alam
Cacophony
yung
pa rin.
kung gagawin dito. Pero, this is the long-term and the medium-term issues na dapat siguro harapin ni BBM as a Secretary of the Department of Agriculture. Dahil yung 70-30 daw na mandated, parang yung okay, kunwari sa bigas, di ba? Ikaw, magsasaka ka. No? Pag ang bigas, dinala mo dun sa miller, merong bayad per sack. Tama? Magbabayad ka ng pagiling na cost per sack. So, kung naparami mo yung iyong output dun sa sakahan, mag-increase yung kanyang bayad. Mag-increase yung kanyang output, dadalhin niya doon, magbabayad lang siya correspondingly kung ilan yung additional output niya. Tama? Wala siyang ka-share doon. Samantala, kung sakasakali namang itong si Miller ay nakagawa o bumili ng bagong makinarya, so much so na ma-improve niya yung ano bang tawag, well milled yung rice niya, makakapag-charge naman siya ng mas mataas. Sa asukal, hindi. So si asukal, maghahatian sila lagi. So if either one improves their output, the other will share in that improvement without spending anything. Kasi nga, batas ang nagsasabi ng hatian. So maybe that is one of the things that must be looked into. And then secondly, itong pagpapakooperatiba ng pamilya ng tigpa 5 hectares. Paano sila i-reorganize so that their land holdings will become strong again in terms of or competitive again in terms of output. And then, wala sinasabi dito about consolidation of milling ownership. Sino ba kasi yung mga millers natin? Sino ba? Okay. One of the biggest millers ng Pilipinas. Ano ba to? Ay, ito pala yung meron palang
Meron silang directory sa meron silang directory niyan sa SRA. Sa SRA, dyan, sa office there.
Kaya nga. So, producer by affiliation, ganun ba? Ganun natin. Ito. So, meron Confed, merong Unifed. Diba yung sinasabi kanina na maingay, si Unifed yun? No? May Pinayfed, may Confed. Okay. Where does our sugar come from? To begin with, our sugar comes from mostly region ng Central Luzon,
Panay
Eastern,
Island,
Central, and Western Visayas. Sa region
Visayas.
Central, Eastern, and Western Visayas. So that's entirely the Visayas. And then, finally, dito sa Mindanao, meron ding konti dyan in the area of Northern Mindanao, which is si Senyor Subiri, con Bukidnon, estoy muchas dineras, mucho dinero. And there is also one daw in Davao. Sino yan nasa Davao, Ahmed? There is only one farmer in Davao, one farming entity in Davao, which is producing a lot actually with 1,000 employees. Sino kaya yan? I do not know. I haven't seen. Alright? So, ito mga fed na
Okay, let me know if you need anything.
Bakit? I'm not talking to you. Ito talaga si Siri. Ang daming sinasabi.
What the hell is that?
Okay. Puntahan lang natin dito saan ba to sa directory? Dito to, no? Stakeholder. Tama ba ako? Sugar, not traders, but the sugar mills, no?
Farmers.
Dito yung galing? Tama ba?
Mills.
Sugar mills? Sugar
Ano ba
mills?
tinatanong mo? Farmers?
Hindi, kasi the farmers bring it to the mills. The mills are the ones who make money. Okay? That is how our industry works. So who are the mills?
Inspector Mills. Inspector Mills.
And I think tell you that recognize
Welcome to the Hotel of California.
Naiinip na si naiinip na si Google Keeps Quiet. Oh, yan. Sino to mga to? Central Azucarera Don Pedro.
Uy, balayan. Sina Robina pala yan.
Kenya Francis Sugar Mill, this is in Region 5, okay? And in Tarlac, this is a Sonyar Central Azucarera de Tarlac. Sino kaya yan? Central Azucarera de Bais? Scrum? First Farmers
Uy,
Holding
duda.
Corporation.
Duda.
Hawaiian Philippine Company. HDV. Bayawan Agriventure. Universal Rubina again. And there is
Lopez.
this Lopez Sugar Corporation.
Yan yung mga Lopez
Universal
Island.
Rubina. Sagay Central. Universal Rubina.
Uy, ang dami ah.
HD Bayawan
May talaga, oh.
Adventure.
Mahilig pala sa sukal to.
Milling. Organic Producers Island Negos Property. Coffee Sugar Central.
Uy, Universal
Coffee Sugar
Rubina na
Central.
naman.
Parang isa lang yung mga pinupuntahan nito. And then Universal Rubina na naman. And then Central Azucarera de San
Central
Antonio.
Azucarera de San Antonio.
But that is in Region 6. This is still in
Ogo.
Visayas, right?
Cebu.
Mm-hmm.
Sa Cebu yan, yung Medellin.
A Deco Sugar Milling Company. Mindanao. Oh, ito. Sino ba yung Davao? Ano ba region yun? Davao. Davao Sugar Central Company.
Region
Sino kaya?
11.
Pero bakit nandito siya sa Phil Invest Building? Ano?
Nga nasa Davao del Sur yan. Sa Gunoy.
Tapos ito nga itong kwento ko. Tingnan nyo nga kung sino itong Telecoms Plus. Sino ba to?
Hindi, yung office lang nila yan.
Kaya nga, pero anong building yan? Yung Telecoms Plus? In Hilpuyat. Smart ba to? Hilpuyat is sa Benja. Benja yung
Eastern
Hilpuyat,
Telecom.
no?
Eastern Telecom ang may-ari niya.
Eastern Telecom. Na may-ari ni, ang pagmamayari ay si Vegas Telecoms.
Belgas, Belgas.
Vegas. Vegas? Whatever. And then ito si Philinvest din. Floor din. So ito pala si Davao Central at saka si Cotabato Central ay isa lang may-ari, no? And then merong Legazpi Towers, Terra, no Manila address, Terra, ulit.
Welcome to the Hotel of California.
Okay, si Lopez, Optima Building said, sila Lopez ba to? I don't think so.
Lopez
Ibang
ay na
Lopez
yata
to.
yan.
Ibang Lopez to because if you read the WikiLeaks noong 1970s, there was a WikiLeaks there that the sugar barons of okay, sabi dito, sugar mills, sabi ni Benedict Corpus, Lopez Sugar, Central Azucarera, First Framers, Discom, si Marichan, yes, who is yep, Merry Christmas. So, okay. Itong si meron tayong din nakikita dito na pangalan.
Sino?
Like natin, ha? Like natin.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
This is the name you do not see. O meron daw ano, privacy statement ha.
Bakit kaya hindi?
Bakit kaya wala na tayong nakikitang pangalan na yan ganyan? Doon ano?
Wala yan. Cooking lang yan.
Wala. Masyang kaya saan kaya tayo punta? Doon na kayo din sa investor relations, ha? Investor relations. Uy!
Okay.
Merong sinasabi dito na saan tayo punta? Financial highlights or ano? Teka. Saan ba? Dito muna tayo sa About Us para maganda.
May nahanap.
Kasi tubo yung hawak niya, oh. Tubo kasi yung hawak niya, eh. Pero wala sila doon, di ba?
Wala sila doon.
Bakit kaya?
Kasi nasa Panayan sila.
Uy! Sila pala to.
Pa yung mga tao doon sa Panay.
Sila pala to si Central Azucarera
RHI.
Pedro. Sila din yung RHI Agribusiness Development. Sino ba mga director nito? Bagal, no? Uy, si Pedro Rojas. At Vice Chairman IC.
Si Rojas.
Sino to?
Manuel V. Pangilinan. Oy.
Ayan.
Ang dami naman pala nitong si Manuel Pangilinan eh.
Conglomerate
Oligarch
tayo.
pala to eh. Talagang oligarch eh.
Okay. So ito daw yung yung ganyan. First Pacific pala. So, kita mo yung First Pacific doon? No? May First Pacific pala. Yung First Pacific Holdings. And then First Agri. Diba? Doon sa listahan natin kanina. Sila pa lang yung pinakamalaki. Yung Rojas pala na pangalan, 20% na lang yan. Ayun. Yun pala yun. Malaki pala yung Manipee.
Napaka-oligarch talaga to si Manny P, no?
Okay. Tingnan natin. So, Universal Robina, pinakamalaking player. Alam naman natin si Gokong Wei yan, di ba? No? Gokong Wei yan.
Yes.
Sino ba kasama ni Gokong Wei dyan? Titingnan pa ba natin? Sino ba laging kasama ni Gokong Wei? Di ba Smart at saka Sun magkasama, no?
PLDT.
Smart Sun.
PLDT.
Meralco, Gokong Wei, magkasama din. Sino din kasama nila sa Meralco? Di ba ito din? Si Manipee din.
Manny Pangilinan.
Manipee. So, yung Rubina, at saka si kasi hindi, publicly listed ba si Rubina? Meron ba tayo? Hindi ako sure. But,
publicly listed ang Rubina.
Pag-check mo.
HRC. Ay, ang Rubina RC, ano ba yun? URC?
So, teka. Magtatanong tayo dito, no? Kasi patong business world, and then, si Manny Pangilinan din, yung may hawak ng media natin. Sila din yung mag-merge ng ABS-CBN, Di ba, Torne? Sila din yon. Sila gyapon to. Paano na nito?
So, tawid-tawiran lang yan sila dyan?
Paano na nito?
Ayos
PLDT to?
Listed yan, 2019 pa yan siya, ang
Si
URC
Robina.
2019 pa yan publicly listed.
Sa TSC? Makikita ba natin si, doon? Si Manipee? Kaya,
Yeah.
hindi ko alam. It will just be suntok sa buwan, if ever. Kayo nga, tingnan nyo nga. Papasanayan si MVP kay Papa. Kaya nga, Azucarera di Papa ito Azucarera di Papa. Okay.
Ito yung board of directors. Ang board of directors.
Okay.
Si Gokong Wei si John Gokong Wei, si James Go, si Lance Go Kongwei, chairman, si Erwin Lee, si Mr.
Wala silang,
Johnson Robert Go, si
Wala silang share.
Robert Koyuto,
Oo.
si Wilfredo Sanchez,
Oo.
si Cesar Purisima.
Purisima.
Yun lang po.
Pero major stockholder, meron ba kami yan?
Tingnan ko ha, kung meron pa ibang offices saglit lang.
Sana yan. Dito yan sa disclosures. Okay, anyway.
Maka-investor lang talaga yan si ano.
Tanggalin lang muna natin. Tanggalin muna natin. Alright, anyway. So, sino ba ang pinoprotektahan ni Manong BBM dito sa issue na ito? No? Nakakapagtaka. Why would this president actually do so much for an industry? Victoria's Millings. Who is Victoria's Millings? Lusutan. Itong Rojas Holdings, which owns a lot of it's also owned by Manny Pangilinan. There is that Lopez Millings, okay, which we doubt if they are related to the Lopez's of ABS-CBN. And then there is the fourth layer, which is this Hawaiian Philippines. Ito yung pinakamalaki. They comprise about 50% or more. More than 50% kasi si Rubina also goes up all the way to the north. And then in terms of sugar plantations, you have there the Hacienda Luisita of the Cuancos. All of these industries are Dilawan industries, no? So why
does that
BBM?
matter?
Why does BBM deem it important to actually make this protection? Tingin ko wala. Walang
Kasi
politika.
he cares
It's
for the
his job.
people working for those. Diba?
Diba? It's his job.
He is being president of the people who are working for this oligarch.
Diba?
Ba? Tama ba?
Kasi ang tanong ko dito, nasaan ba si Raul? Did Raul make any statement about this?
Raul!
Oh.
Sino
Nasaan ba
Raul?
ang Kabataan Party List? Kabataan Party List. Nasaan ang Makabayan Black? Did they make any statements about the sugar thing? What are they saying about the sugar thing? They're also
Wala
against it,
sila.
diba? Actually, everyone is against it. Everyone in the media is against the importation. But actually, what does importation do to us? Sabi dito sa research, okay, if this sugar industry is actually liberalized, allowed to import without any restriction, just like what was going, the trajectory of the Senate hearings, sabi simulations indicate that if inter-industry, okay, fully liberalizing trade in sugar would predictably hurt planters and millers, both of whose profits are projected to decline by 57%. While consumers gain in welfare, consumers will gain, you and me, we will gain by 65%. So look, if you look at the balance, the producers will be affected by 57%, but the consumers will benefit by 65%. This is a netted document. Cost-benefit analysis, sinong pipiliin mo? Consumer o producer? Naiilan lang naman yan na oligarko ang nasa producer side. Pero meron sila behind them about 65,000 farmers? Diba? There's a modest net gain to overall society of 2 billion or 1.8%, but this must be weighed against the implementation cost of the mechanisms for the winners, which are the consumers, to compensate the losers. Kailangan daw natin i-compensate ang losses ng mga losers kasi mayaman sila, hindi sila pwedeng mabawasan ng kanilang pera. Diba? If inter-industry effects are also accounted for, overall society is projected to gain 7 billion to 9 billion per year from liberalization. This welfare increase is mainly felt by consumers due to lower prices for sugar and sugar-using products. However, all this is accompanied by declining prices, employment, and output in the domestic sugar industry. On the other hand, food manufacturing industries, including using sugar, would increase output and employment. Okay, sabi ha, ang employment daw dito sa sugar manufacturing will decline by 7 to 16%, but the employment in the food producing sector will increase by 1.1%. Pero hindi nila nilagay in terms of absolute numbers because this industry is much bigger, the food manufacturing industry. When you say food manufacturing industry, ang 1% niyan ay baka katumbas ng buong sugar manufacturing planting industry. And then, okay, I'm just exaggerating there, but the immense number of employees in the food manufacturing industry as compared to those who are in the sugarcane manufacturing industry, ang layo ng diferensya. So, kahit na 7% yan, itong 1% dito ay maaring mas mataas. Alright? While imports for these commodities would decline over time, the industry sector as a whole would see incremental growth within sugar trade liberalization, albeit small. So, up to 2030, mag-grow pa rin daw. So, ito daw yun, Kaya lang, ito yung problema.
Mag-grow tayo?
No. Ibig sabihin, mag-grow pa rin yung sugar industry kahit na i-liberalize, babagsak yung presyo. Magbe-benefit tayong lahat kasi bababa yung presyo. Magbe-benefit yung mga, yung kaaway nila na bottling company, bababa yung ating soft drinks, bababa yung ating presyo ng tinapay, bababa yung presyo ng ating mga biskwit, kasi bababa yung presyo ng asukal. Pero ang problema daw, kasi ang makikinabang yan, based on this, okay, sabi dito, ang makikinabang ay yung mayayaman.
Na miyembro doon sa cartel nila.
No. Sa atin, among the consumers, the highest gain will be
mayayaman na consumer.
In the top 10% of our income groups. Kasi sila yung may pinakamataas na consumption din naman ng sugar-laden company, products. Right? So income groups would tend to gain more than, higher income groups would tend to gain more than lower income groups. Yun. So, may matinding pagbabalanse nga talaga naman na kailangan gawin tong si BBM. No? The balance is between the producer or us. The farmers, or increasing, maintaining the work of these farmers, of which about mga 16%, 7 to 16% of them will be affected, or increasing jobs in the food manufacturing sector. This is the bigger perspective. Okay? And at the same time, maapektuhan yung mga oligarchs into the production of sugar. Okay, suppose for instance that the whatever na. Alright. So yun yung ating issue dyan na totoo. So right now, ang hindi ko maintindihan is sino ang galit at ano yung kanyang interest sa mga bagay-bagay na to. Pero bago yan, Atty. Ahmed, bago matulog tong ating mga kaibigan, 11:30 ang oras. Okay. Meron akong gustong batiin. Naalala mo yun? Yung isang tao dun sa Pampanga.
Malapit na ako.
Meron nag-anniversary daw eh.
Alin?
Dun sa Pampanga.
Ay, mag-anniversary.
Oo. 40
yun.
years. 40
Patingin
years.
na natin, 40 years. Oh.
Ano mag
40, happy 40 years po.
ito yung nakakatawa. Oh. Mag-asawa na daw
Napalayas.
sila for 40 years. Hindi. Yung pangalan ng lalaki, Emil. Yung pangalan ng babae, Emily.
Emil.
Oh, tapos yung
Uy.
asawa niya, Emily.
Okay.
Oh, so, ito talaga yung
Bagay.
yan yung mga match made in heaven. Parang Victoria's Milling at saka, ano yun? Nara. At saka First Philippine Holdings. Magkakasama talaga yan. So yun, ito sila, 40 years
Magkakamag-anak ba yan sila?
Katagagay nito, sir, nitong mga Caciques, sir. Ha? Si Kuya Emil na to, dungo ang apelido nito. Wala din tong Azucarera. Pero pag 40 years ka nang nagtatrabaho sa Azucarera, hindi ba nakakasawa yun? Kailangan ng matinding pagmamahal yan, sir.
Depende.
Para mag-survive ng 40 years. Mga Caciques.
Hindi kailangan ng pagmamahal yan.
Anong kailangan?
Minsan lang yung pagmamahal sa simula lang.
Anong
Foundation.
kailangan ito? Foundation o pagtitiis?
Foundation.
Anong ibig sabihin?
Hindi, wala
Pound.
yung testes, wala, hindi naman kapital yan.
Ipapound
Kailangan
talaga.
kapital. Foundation.
Pound?
Ganon. Foundation.
Sus naman. Happy. Okay.
Happy 40th wedding anniversary,
Si
Mang Emil
Kuya
at
Emil.
saka,
Kuya Emil.
Aling Emily.
Kaya
Buhay
lang,
po kayong lahat.
pinakita sa akin yung picture nito, sir. Talo tayo. Pogi. Pogi nung lalaki talaga. Imposibleng hindi
Okay
ng
naman
babae ito,
talaga
sir.
yan. Ako, wala akong inalaman sa mga ganyan.
Imposibleng hindi ng babae ito, sir.
Ha? Bakit kailangan pag-usapan yan?
Hindi. Kasi,
Bakit kailangan pag-usapan?
hindi. Ibig lang sabihin yan. Napakaswerte. Kasi, habulin eh. Di ba? Pag habulin, tapos
Habulin?
nanatili.
Ibig sabihin yan?
Habulin ng mga babae yung tsura ni Kuya
Nanatili.
Emil. Nanatili kay Ate Emily.
Kakaiba
Talagang
yan.
pagmamahal yan, sir. Pag ganyan, sir, ano? Yan yung love. Ha? Ikaw, sir, kaya mo ba yan, sir? Magmahal ng ganyang kahaba?
Love. Look at the two of us.
Ngayon. Puntahan natin yung kwentong love, ha? Kwentong love. Yun palang First Philippine,
Alin yung
First
love?
Pacific. First Pacific Holdings. Tinayo pala ito noong
Wala.
1980s pa.
Hindi ko gawain yung mga love-love niya. Walang pusuan, puro libog lang. Yun yung kasabihan ko dyan.
Kaya nga, hindi rin libog kasi ito, sir. Tingnan mo ito, sir. Itong First Philippine
Mga
Holdings.
sugar. Hi, Sas! Hi, Sas! Hi!
Ito. First Pacific pa. First Pacific. Hi, Sash.
Mag-hi ka kay Sas!
Ako, nag-message ako sa'yo. Hindi mo ako sinasagot. Grabe ito si Sash, oh. Hindi mo siguro
Ay,
nakilala
grabe,
kasi
snabish.
ang nakalagay na ginamit ko, isang dambana ng kalayaan. Hindi mo makikilala. Ako yun.
Snabish.
Oh, snobbish. Okay. Anong alam mo dito sa First Philippine?
Yan, kailan daw?
Teka.
Kailan daw?
Matagal na. The day after. Bigyan mo nga ng ano yan. Bigyan mo ng link yan.
Ay, oo, tama. Bigyan natin ng link. Ano ba yan? Gusto ko The fact.
Sugar.
Wait lang. Wait. Coming up.
Okay, si First Pacific.
Oh, there you go, Sas.
First Pacific. Ha? First Pacific. Di ba kayo hindi? 1980 pa daw to tinayo. Okay. So kung
Yung?
1980 ka pa tinayo.
Yung kay ano?
20 plus 20.
Yung kay
40
sa Maroas.
years na rin. Okay, 40 years na rin.
Ba, tikas
Parang si Kuya Emil nga, tsaka si Kuya Emily. Kaya nga, sinasabi ko talagang matinding pagmamahal to.
Pag-ibig yan.
Pag-ibig talaga.
Pag-ibig. Yeah.
Para magkaroon ka ng Azucarera de Papa. Okay. Foreign relations, ano sabi?
Azucarera di Papa?
Ano sabi dito? Washington and Philippines.
Oh, ayan na si Sas.
Good man. Ano sabi? Although rather stupid.
Ay, sas.
Oh, hello. No, Washington and Philippines.
Oh, yan ang
Ano ba
sas.
to? Ano sabi? Although rather stupid.
Ay, teka muna, ano yan? Bakit may ganyan?
What is that? What is that? Okay.
What's that?
Ambassador
Foreign relations of the United... What?
Marcos, ano yun? Ano to? Be able to control the Philippines.
The
by
danger was that
brother.
if it succeeded...
Alright.
Mabuti pa si Sas, nakahiga na sa kama eh. Oh.
Hindi ko alam to. Hindi ko maintindihan. Mishas, anong alam mo dito? Kaya,
First,
Alam
mo
si
ito, mga
Tricky, di ba
tubo-tubo?
yung MVP yan?
MVP.
si, senyorita.
When nga ron?
When? Okay.
Tinitingnan namin to si MVP kasi sa lahat ng negosyo nandun siya, kahit mga kompetensya, andun pa rin siya.
And then, hindi lang yun.
Tawag niya.
Oh, pati pa yung nagbabalita sa kanya rin.
Andun din siya, oh. Tapos
Ano
yung
din to?
ginagamit
Yan.
na magtawagan sila, andun din siya.
Elite,
Kakaiba itong tao.
nandun din siya.
Oh,
Tapos,
kakaiba.
siya din bang may-ari nito? Hindi. Ay, hindi ko alam. Oh,
Alin?
teka. Ang
Eh,
tanong,
gobyerno yan eh.
gobyerno pala yan.
Gobyerno.
Pero, sa balita nga nila, di ba? Sino pa ba? Teka, nakalimutan ko tuloy. Meron pa pala tong, meron pa tong karugtong. Si
Pagpabaan masyado.
hindi, to? Puntahan ko lang tong tanggalin ko muna. Discuss nyo muna ni Sas. Baka meron siyang mga inputs dyan sa ating Azucarera issues.
Anong balita,
Pero-
Sas? Anong balita? Anong balita sa side mo ng...
Sugar. Sugar.
hindi.
Di ba may ano nga?
Sugar.
Please.
Balita saan?
Sugar.
So, kahit on your side of the social media and
Di ba ang chismis dyan yung sugar daddy? Sino ba yung daddy?
Dami.
Sugar Danny?
Oo, meron daw Danny ang pangalan. Na
Danny?
sugar daddy.
Ani?
Ay, teka muna, i-google natin yan siya. Sugar Danny.
What is he supposed to be doing?
Parang legendary cookies yata yan siya.
Pero alam mo ang
Ukes.
sa usapin nito na naawa ako kay Secretary Cruz-Angeles. Siya ang naano dito eh.
Kaya nga ang
Oo.
pinupunto namin, April pa pala tong issue na to.
Kailan?
Mm.
April.
April pa.
That's where
So
we
hinintay
started
nilang
this.
mawala si PRD?
Oo, hindi. Habang nandiyan pa si PRRD, ginagawa na nila yan.
Woo!
Kaya nga, di ba, we were starting with the US USDA report in April 18. And that USDA report already mentions that the Philippines is planning to issue SRO number
JP,
4.
bakit hindi ka na nagsasalita?
Hindi ako nagsasalita?
So ano siya? Na
It's an
meron
old
ng
issue. It's
meron na matagal na palang issue yung
Yes.
Pero
and then,
pero ngayon lang in-issue
Yep.
under PBBM. So
Yep.
ang tanong ngayon, bakit ngayon lang sila nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob na i-issue yan?
yun ang malaking tanong.
Sinong sila?
At saka,
Sinong sila? Itong newspaper?
Okay? Okay?
Ha?
Ang magandang kasi dito is anong role ni Sebastian? Okay? Kasi at first
Fall guy yan, fall guy.
si Serafica yung dito eh. Yung pinaka kontrabida sa
Kontrabida.
issue daw nito. Noong April. Okay?
Yep.
So
halata namang fall guy itong Sebastian Ahmed.
'di ba nung inanalyze natin namin, 'di ba? Sino ba dapat ang nagpirma? Either si Bongbong or si Serafica. Kasi lahat ng previous SROs, si Serafica yung
Si Serafica, the administrator.
The administrator, that position, no? Yun.
Oh, si Serafica nga.
tingnan
Administrator
mo.
yun eh.
Pero ang ko dyan, JP, saka Ahmed, how can you be this bold?
Mm.
Okay. Tingnan mo anong panahon.
Ang basa ko
In
dyan
Star.
ganito eh. Oh, sige, ikaw, sige, basahin mo yung
Hindi, ito.
binabasa mo dyan.
Tingnan nyo lang.
Hmm.
This is Star, another MVP company.
Hmm.
In April, what
Alam
is
na.
their thrust?
Hmm.
Di ba? Napansin natin na dun sa business world na reports, yes, kinikerry nila yung anti. Pero, pagkadating ng hapon or ng gabi, babawiin nila na parang okay yung importation. And in Philippine Star, April 13, panawagan eh.
Banata nila.
So MVP is on both sides. Why? Is he also in the manufacturing of food? Or ano? Ano naman ang ano niya dun sa kabilang side? Sa industrial use ng sugar.
Sa URC, nandun din siya.
Oh my God. So matagal na pala to. Sugar proposed by the Sugar Regulatory Authority be open to all the vulnerabilities. Okay.
Yep.
It is my position that the sugar importation program should be made available equally to major stakeholders and to benefit the sari-sari store with markets, groceries, and
Yan yung-
supermarkets.
Pero Ahmed JP,
Yan din
bakit?
yung sinabi ni ano kanina eh. Ni Zubiri kanina sa Senate.
Pero bakit
Ayun o,
ano?
Yes, go
kay
ahead,
Saro, number
Sas,
4
go ahead,
no.
Sas.
Pero bakit
Sandali
hindi,
lang, JP.
pero bakit hindi
Go,
ito
Sas.
inaprubahan noong panahon ni the previous administration? Kasi this is April, this is like election period.
Before
Hindi ba
the election.
dapat dito parang nailusot nila ito?
Nung July, meron silang nailusot, di ba?
No. That was February. Yan yung February, yung 2.
May.
Yung
May. Hindi, merong
May.
May, Japes.
ano na yun? Yun na yung effect nung 2, February.
Dumating.
Dumating na sila.
Yun yung dumating.
And then they want another one. They wanted another one to add to the 200 na nauna noong February. To the tune of 350,000 metric tons. Okay.
So that is different from the 300 that they ordered with the SO4. Magulo. So ang
Ayun.
tanong ko nga dyan is ganito.
Si Serapi kayong kaaway
Anong
nila.
nahanap mo dyan? Kaya nga.
Si Serapi ka talaga yung kaaway nila before. Even this Yulo, my great uncle. Okay? The first SRA administrator is my uncle. Because I come from the,
Cacique.
Cacique.
Cacique ka eh.
I'm an oligarch. Okay. Okay, Serapica should not use prevailing prices affecting domestic consumers. Sabi ni Yulo, dapat daw payagan na yan na mag-liberalize na nga. Diba? And why
Yan
mag-liberalize?
din yung sinasabi ni Zubiri kanina.
Kasi nga, ito nga yung sinasabi ng NEDA. It will actually result to people having lower prices,
More consumption of sugar.
more
and lower
consumption,
prices.
more employment in the food industry. So there are two. Nagumpugang bato talaga ng industriya dito. And the question
well, the
is,
other one is the agriculture that is now the thrust of the new president.
So,
That will
obviously,
siya counterpoint siya.
So this is a very curious issue because the media is really parang dito. They're for the stoppage, no?
So anong nangyayari dyan dahil hindi nila maintindihan ng media, hindi nila maintindihan, tinira na lang nila si Trixie, you know?
No, they wanted it They wanted it to push through it.
So matagal na tong issue na ito kasi the same metric tons 350,000 metric tons. And ang tanong, bakit hindi ito nakalusot under Duterte administration? Bakit ngayon?
What do you mean by hindi nakalusot? Hindi na
Kasi
nagawa, hindi nakapag-import?
hindi na-aprobahan yung sugar order number 4. Kasi April pa pala yan ina-announce na i-approve yung sugar order number 4. It wasn't approved. Ngayon,
Oo.
na-approve. But of course, not without the consent of the president.
Oo. So, 'di ba? Obvious ba na well, hindi naman siguro very obvious, but this is my suspicion on the matter. Na noong kasi remember si Duterte sometime in 2 years ago, I think, yung may babae siyang pinatanggal doon na consultant pa yun because of the overpriced consultant fees, ganyan. Tapos sinabi niya during the time, I will abolish this thing because this is a corruption bed or parang ganyan. So, gigil na gigil yan si Duterte dyan sa Sugar Regulatory Administration na yan. But, wala siyang magawa dahil ang DA ay yan ang sinasuggest.
Anong tono ni Zubiri kanina? Di ba? Pro-importation.
Yeah, and even liberalization of that. Kung halimbawa,
But look,
walang
read, what was his position just April before the elections?
reconsider proposed sugar importation program. What do you mean by
Not
that?
to push through.
But
Not to push through.
that's a different time. Why? Was his
This
what
was
was
before
his
the election.
reason?
Well, that's
Why?
a month
What was the
before the
reason?
election, Ahmed.
Because
Oh.
he is running, right? Is he running? Was he running at that time? Subiri did
Yeah,
run?
he was running.
Yes.
Okay. These are voters, right? You do not
Right.
disappoint voters. So when you are a candidate, you will say, "Wag kayong mag-import." But now that he is Senate President, he was saying, "Import na tayo," just like what the NEDA is saying.
Ang sinasabi ni Subiri kanina, hindi naman sa mag-import na tayo. Sinasabi niya lang
Gawin
na
yun, tama.
mali yung gawin yung tamang proseso, magkaroon ng mas matinong method and evaluation and yung complete staff working on something CSW na sinasabi.
Yeah, pero tingnan mo,
Hindi
sabi
naman
niya,
siya
nung
halata masyadong pro.
kaya nga,
Hindi
nung siya
masyado
pa ay,
halata.
nung siya pa ay kandidato, ito yung sabi. Okay? Oops, wait. Pangit. Yan. The SRA and the DA are here not to shepherd important produce into the country, but to strengthen our own production and to ensure that our farmers are able to make a good living out of their labor. So I
Ay,
reiterate my call.
Ay,
360.
sus, maganda proletaryo. Di ba?
Kandidato.
Oo.
I-play mo kaya yung senador kanina.
I-play ko. Teka
I-play mo
muna.
hanapin mo yung senador. Yung
Grabe
nanalo na,
Sige.
tingnan
Meron ka?
natin. Hindi, wala ko.
Wait,
Ikaw meron nung kanina.
Meron ako.
I-play mo
Grabe
nung
naman
naging
to.
senador.
Grabe naman to,
Oo.
JP.
Ano sabi daw na? Ay, bakit ganun? Bakit grabe yung term mo?
Hindi, grabe yung turn around. Parang,
Talagang 180 yan.
Instead of this importation program, let us focus on delivering much needed assistance. Kandidato. Secretary Dar and Serapica take heed of the call of the sugar sector.
so a month before the election, they took the
They
heat
took
of
the
the
side
call.
of the farmers.
Pero ngayon, natapos ng election, dead man.
Import
Hindi,
na.
actually, hindi sila dumedma eh. Itong reaction ng na parang na-lukewarman ako sa reaction ng Senate. Kasi the sugar business is a really big industry. Malaking pera dyan. At kung may corruption dyan, interesado dapat ang Senado dyan. But look at their parang nanonood lang sila na nagsasabong-sabong itong tapos yung may
Kita mo, hindi
Yeah,
nag-iingay ang mga pink.
Kasi both sides they will make pakinabang eh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter kung yellow ka or
Nasa
Like
pa
si
mga
Rubina.
asukarero.
Hindi, ito mga azucarero to dapat kasi sila na to yung mga planters to, no? But isipin mo yung ating miller, the biggest miller, kaya nga pinupoint out ko kanina, the biggest miller turns out to be Universal Robina, who will also benefit if you will actually just import. Because Universal Robina is making all of your biscuit,
Oh,
all of
and
your
mga yung mga mallows, ganyan.
whatever, your chocolate, your whatever, everything sweet that you are buying from your grocery is made by them.
Pero
Halos,
JP,
halos
ang
karamihan.
tanong ko,
Mm.
bakit hindi ba sapat yung ani? Or
Hindi.
are they using a different kind of
Hindi.
sugar for
No,
the
no. We were
for the big
affected.
industries?
No, we were
Basta
affected
tapusin
by
mo. Tapusin mo, no?
Yeah, nauna na kasi natapos sa akin. We were affected by the typhoon, which actually reduced our output. Ang sabi nga mas succinct yung sinasabi ng USDA. Teka lang, balikan ko lang to. Saan ba yung USDA ko dito na
Bakit ka pumunta sa USDA? Dahil sa bagyo.
Mas succinct yung nila yung kanilang report, no? So USDA Philippine Sugar.
Sige.
In one paragraph, they were able to state what is the state of the nation. That is our situation according to the USDA. You know?
So, ang sabi,
Decline by
Okay.
50,000.
By next
Metric
year, we will
tons.
not be able to reach our own consumption needs
Target.
of 2.3 million. This is our consumption.
Mhm.
Okay, in 2023, consumption forecast is to stay at 2.3 million metric tons, while our production is going to be 2 metric tons. We are really below.
250,000 refined sugar, 100,000 metric ton of raw sugar imports.
Yeah, this is what they were reporting na nga noong April pa. This was an April forecast by the USDA, Department of Agriculture. Yun. That is the one paragrapher of the Philippine sugar situation right now. So,
So this
imagine,
this is an old issue, no? Pero
Yep.
the explosive lang kasi dito is yung
Yung nahuli.
nahuli.
Tapos,
diba?
tapos matapang na nagsalita ang press secretary na pinagtaka naman itong mga tao na parang ba't ang tapang niya? Parang siya ba, yan ba yung stand ni BBM? Tapos, maya-maya siya na yung inatake. Hindi ko maintindihan bakit.
Teka, eto.
May
Eto,
explanation dyan?
No, eto ang concern dapat nating lahat. 'Di ba? Na bumaba ang presyo ng mga bilihin.
Bumaba ba?
Kasi kapag bumaba kasi yung presyo ng isang major input ng lahat ng maraming mga produkto natin from bread to whatever, no?
Hindi naman nagmura, Jeps eh.
Hindi nga. Ang magpapamura nga is importation.
Putsang
And
ina.
this is according to
Nagmura ba
NEDA.
nung nag-import sila nung May? Nagmura nung February?
No,
Hindi.
not just that kind of importation, but liberalization, allowing imports to come in. Really?
Yung liberalization.
Hindi yung balansi-balansi lang. Kasi ito, pambalansi-balansi lang to.
Kasi yun nga yan nga ang function ng SRA eh, na to balance the farming and industry at saka yung importation. Yung trabaho niyan.
Pero yun na nga, according to the
merong makahaka na nagpapabayad sila.
Okay nga, according to the study nitong ginagawa ni NEDA, the issue is both the farmer sector and the milling sector will not benefit from improving either sector. Kaya wala siyang incentive for growth and development.
Yeah, well, okay. So
ito sinasabi,
okay, so
Mhm.
now that is the debate. That is the now since this is the debate that has been going on since Feb of this year.
mm,
So all of this noise right now that's going on is really just noise of the ignorant people that do not know
yep,
anything about there is no deep understanding of what the hell is going on in this problem.
mm,
Ang nakikita lang nila yung superficial na reaction ng gobyerno na pinilit mukhang sinubukang dayain at
mm,
nahuli ng gobyerno na to at nag-react
mm.
yung gobyerno. Nagtaka sila kung bakit gano'n na lang reaction. Hindi ba wala bang karapatan ng gobyerno na maging stern in their reaction when it finds out that there's something that was attempted to be di ba? Sneak in. Eh and then they question bakit ganyan ang press secretary. Bakit yun na-assume na hindi yan yung inutos sa kanyang sabihin? Di ba? I mean, hindi ba mahirap pang isipin na kaya ganun ang stand ni press secretary is because she was instructed to be like that.
Yeah.
Why
Okay.
is that very
Yeah.
hard to think, to believe?
Okay.
Bakit
So now-
lumalabas pa na si Trixie merong sariling lakad?
Oh,
No.
may sariling lakad which is crazy. And that is
Walang
that is
sariling
there.
lakad si Trixie. This is an old issue, okay?
Oo
And
nga.
this old
But
issue, this old issue, apparently is the type of issue na dapat after the elections, baliktaran
Masasolve
na.
na.
No,
Oo.
baliktaran na. Laglag na yung mga concern ng mga farmers.
Oo.
Now, what they find
Hindi
na sa
nangyari.
sariling lakad ni Trixie is this. Bakit nandyan ka pa rin bakit nandyan pa rin kayo sa administrasyon sa ayaw nyo ng importation? Pang-eleksyon lang yan na kwento. Kagaya nga nito. Yan si
Oh.
Senate President nagsasabi
Kaya nga.
bago
Kaya
mag-eleksyon, dapat kasi pagkatapos ng eleksyon, baliktaran na tayo, pre. Para
Anong
nahuli
sabi ni
kayo.
kanina?
Ano sabi ni Tikia? Natutulog sa
Ano sabi?
pansitan.
Wag mo na si
No.
Tikia, si Pimentel muna. Pimentel, saglit lang. Anong sinabi ni
Ano
Pimentel kanina? Sinabi ni Pimentel, baka naman kasi parang siya ang nagboboluntaryo kasi na maging DA Hindi ba siya busy? Dahil presidente din siya So, siguro kailangan maglagay talaga siya ng tao na tututok dyan sa DA at hindi siya. Kasi hindi nila inasahan itong ating Senate President na nung kandidato pa siya, hindi niya inasahan na itong presidenteng ito kung nanalo ay tututok sa DA.
Ay i-maintain niya yung kanyang yung kanyang posisyon nung eleksyon.
Campaign. Yung
Oo.
campaign.
Kasi
Yan yung hindi
kampanya, lahat
inasahan
ng
nila.
politiko, sinabayan yung hinaing ng mga farmers.
Mm.
Di ba?
Ito si Bongbong Marcos kasi makulit ito Hindi sumasabay sa kumpas Nung pagkatapos ng eleksyon, nag-ayawan na yung mga politiko sa flight ng mga magsasaka, siya nagpaiwan. Di nagkagulo-gulo ng storya.
Mhm.
Di ba? Nagpaiwan siya. No, I will stick with the farmers on this one. Nagkasalubong dyan pagdating sa SO number 4.
Okay.
Di ba? Hindi ba ganyan yung nangyari dyan?
I just wanna be fair to this NEDA report. Ang recommendation kasi nitong NEDA is not to just simply go and liberalize. Okay? The NEDA actually, at kita sasa, baka nakahubad ka pa makikita ng mga audience. Okay.
Hindi naman
Okay.
nakaubat.
Kaya nga
Wala
sabi
na
ko,
inumin niya.
sabi ko, add kita, baka nakaubad ka ba. Anyway, so itong the recommendation here is first, okay, do away with this old law. Imagine mo Republic Act 1809, this is made during the time of Quirino. Kaya nga yung naalala niyo yung ating picture dito, yung nakaluhod na si Quirino sa kabaong ni Rojas. Yun po yung dahilan kung bakit yun yung picture na pinili ko sa ating imbitasyon para sa ngayong gabi. Dahil ang may punot dulo ng problema na ito ay ito, Hindi
Sino
pa
yan?
pinapanganak si
Ano ba
Trixie.
yung nakasulat yan?
Hindi pa tayo pinanganak. Ito ay an act to regulate the relations among persons engaged in the sugar industry. 1952 ere. At ito
Ay,
ang
pinanganak pa si Trixie dyan, pero
problema.
sanggol pa siya.
Okay, ito yung problema. Kasi itong 1952, sobra ka naman, di 72 na si Trixie ngayon, grabe ka. So, okay.
Bakit ba?
Itong sharing scheme, ito yung sinasabing punot dulo kung bakit yung industriya hindi nag-improve. Ito
Oh.
ang dapat trabahuin ni Subiri. Gawin itong updated. Ito yung 19 kopong-kopong eh.
Yun nga yata yung tinutukoy niya.
1952,
Kanina.
sino ba pumirma nito na ano? Sino ba pumirma ang presidente? Quirino nga.
Kasi, Quirino.
Oh, Quirino, the second president of the Philippines. Yan ang problema natin. At yan yung sinasabi ng NEDA report. In the long run, makikinabang ang publiko sa isang mas mababang presyo na regime ng sugar. But it cannot be done abruptly because it will just benefit the rich. And in the long run, mas maganda. Ayusin din yung yung sharing scheme na yun, 60-70% milk sugar na millers service fee. Yan. Dito yan ang gagaling.
Miller at saka planters.
Yan ang issue. Pero ito is another issue. Ito yung current issue
Pero,
natin.
teka muna, pakinggan natin tong plenary ha. Tingnan natin saglit.
Ayan. Okay,
Para may backgrounder tayo on how they understand this problem that we discovered. Okay? Tingnan natin.
Ibababa ko lang.
Ano ba yan
wala
tatanggalin
din
sa'yo? Ganyan. Sige. O na, eto na si Uncle Si Uncle Subirio. Tama ng pagal eh. Whatever.
Nakamute yung YouTube, Ahmed.
Nakamute. Hold on. Ulitin natin Ulitin. Ayun. Tapos, tama ba yan, Japes? Ba't nawawala yung okay na to. Okay, play natin kung mag-play siya. Wala, napaliw na to. Ikaw na nga nito, Japes?
Asan na si JP?
Parang ayaw. Umalis. Teka.
Nawala
si
si
to ganito. Ulol yan eh.
Ano ba ipi-play mo, Ahmed? Ano ba ipi-play mo?
Gulo. Then anyway, sinasabi ni kanina, sinasabi ni Japes.
Saan yun ang galing? Hanapin ko. Mas mabilis kung ako yung
Ayan.
play.
Bakit tayo pa rin?
Saan mo nakuha yun?
Ilagay ko dyan yung
Ilagay mo dito
ilagay ko yung link. Saglit lang.
Sa private link.
I
will play it for you.
Dito sa public chat.
Yeah, ikaw, Sash.
Yan.
Ano ako?
Anong naririnig mo tungkol sa issue na to? Di ba parang
ito yung may rinig-rinig ko lang.
Kaya nga. Si Trixie daw ang may issue. Si gumagawa.
Well, ang rinig-rinig ko, ang una is, ang nakakaawa dito si Trixie. Kasi nga, siya yung dinadambakan.
Sa private chat, mate, kasi hindi ko makukuha yan eh.
Bakit? Hindi mo mapindot?
Hindi ko
makakopy.
So si Trixie yung
parang kawawa dito, naiipit. Kasi nga, you're just a press secretary. You don't have your own opinion. At
exactly.
Alam naman natin.
Inutusan lang yan eh.
Alam naman natin si Trixie. This is not the first time that Trixie became a spokesperson for something.
Tapos, meron pa nagsasabi na what happened to the calm, staid Trixie Cruz-Angeles and now suddenly she's ready to bite heads off. Sabi ko, what calm and staid Trixie Angeles abogado ng mga magdaloy ng mga rebelding sundalo yan. Did you think that she was the timid person? You don't know Trixie. So,
person pa nga siya ng IBP noon kay Corona, di ba?
And not only that, he was the lawyer of the rebel soldiers like di ba? Nick
Litigation lawyer.
Caldo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Litigation. Pero, ayun na nga,
ang
na para,
tapang niyan.
hindi naman ito hindi naman, siya yung naipit, Trixie is just following orders, from,
Yun nga,
from his superior, from her
ang
superior.
sinasabi ko nga, in answering these people that attack Trixie, sinabi ko na, why do you assume that what she said was not what she was told to say? And if it is true na hindi siya suportado ng kanyang principal, bakit nandiyan pa rin yan siya? Bakit press secretary pa rin siya?
Hindi, yan,
Pakinggan ko lang yung
kaya yun ang naririnig ko na si
Limit
Trixie
muna.
yung naiipit dito. Kasi, I'm pretty sure whoever is behind this would like to take the issue away from, you
Them,
would like as
from
much as
them.
possible to take the authorities away from the crime scene and then you make diversion.
Exactly.
Diba? And
Right.
yun ang nakita ko na,
Ako rin.
all these attacks against Trixie is really a diversion from the crime scene.
Isipin mo, tama. Yan yung sinabi ko kay Trixie, kinasabi ko sa kanya, these people who are attacking you and questioning why you are defending 2 points, why defending ES and strong in your wording. Sabi ko, why is it so surprising that people belonging to the same body of branch of government, the executive, that they will defend each other? Hindi ba ganyan yung nangyari nung nag-Hello Garcia si Gloria and all her spokespersons were defending her? And why is it now very surprising that that's going on here?
There's nothing out of the ordinary sa ginagawa ni Trixie. She's the press secretary, working under the...
Exactly.
What is not in the ordinary is not what Trixie is saying, but what Bongbong and his government is doing. Because that is not what they expected him to be doing.
To do.
What did you
Una,
expect? What did you expect?
Napapayagan na niya.
Nai-abandon na niya yung mga magsasaka. Nai-abandon niya na election rhetoric lang yan. Diba?
Pang-election lang yun. Teka, pakinggan. Saan ba banda yung sinasabi ni Sudiri? Dito ba
Ito
yun?
na.
Dito yan. Dito sa
Tingnan.
mga 30 minutes.
But he kept saying it. He repeated it over and over again. So
May audio ba?
dyan, however.
May audio ba pag i-play ko?
Okay.
Tingnan mo.
Well, play it.
Can you hear anything? I can't hear anything.
Hindi.
Walang
I-reshare
audio.
mo, ilagay mo yung system
Okay,
sound.
Ulitin ko.
Click mo yung
Ulitin ko.
system sound.
Yeah. Kasi parang yung pagmamaang-maangan ng buong Senado kanina. Hindi, sige, alisin mo na. Kasi ihanda ko lang dito. Yung pagmamaang-maangan nila kanina, hindi ko siya maitugma dun sa issue na dun dito sa nakuha nating impormasyon ngayon na before elections, mainit na pala tong issue na to. 'Di ba? Tapos kung makapagmaang-maangan sila noon, ngayon, para bang ngayon lang
Now it's clear. Now it's clear how Zubiri why Zubiri was acting that way.
Ano ba to? I-download ko ba to?
Hindi, ito na siya. Nag-replay na. Mabagal din talaga eh.
Sa'yo ba yan?
Kanina
Galing
pa
o
to
sa akin?
Sa akin.
Sa'yo?
Sa'yo ilagay ko.
Hindi. Kasi sa akin walang audio.
Pindutin mo nga yung system sound. Tanggalin mo muna yan dyan.
A new share, ha? Teka.
Oh.
Ano ba yung share window? O share Google,
Kahit
Alam ko na.
share screen.
Alam ko na. Sige. Tanggalin ko lang yun sa akin, ha? Sige. Ikaw, sa palagay mo, ito bang mga... Anong tingin mo sa mga media outlet sa ngayon? Meron ba silang narrative na gustong ipalabas?
Well,
Nasabay para
Wala,
sila.
tahimik lang sila.
tahimik ang media.
Pare-pareho sila. Iisip ko rin.
Can you imagine that? Parang may mga kausap ko kanina, this is a very huge issue. This is the first time actually na I've been observing Philippine politics. Nakita ko na someone signing on behalf of the president. Para, JP, ikaw
How dare you? How dare you?
ha, wala ka namang sa pag-ano. I'm
Oo.
pretty sure tagal ka pang observer ng Philippine politics sa akin. Have you ever seen anyone signing on top of the name of the president? Hindi
Meron.
lang
ES.
sino?
Usually, executive secretary,
Oh.
they do that.
Oo, pero not to import sugar.
Pangalan niya yung nandun, the ES, di ba? The
Then,
ES.
sometimes four. I've seen that done by, sino tong kay Ruben Torres. He does that for Ramos before. So, Fidel Ramos nakalagay doon, tapos ang nakapirma si Ruben Torres, 4. Ganyan.
Ayun na
Well,
nga.
even...
Oo.
Mm.
Pero,
Sige.
pero, in those cases, you're sure na talagang pinayagan siya, di ba?
Oo, kasi walang backlash walang
Kaya
walang...
ito sinasabi mo, Sasis, wala talaga siyang paalam eh. Parang, obviously,
Oo.
walang paalam eh.
Hindi, ang ano
Oo
pa nito
nga.
kasi, JP,
Oo.
the undersecretary, your next superior is the secretary. So
Mm.
wala kang middleman, If you're going to sign something as huge as this, pwede ka namang magtanong, "Oy sir,
Precisely.
aaprubuhan ko na tong sugar regulatory."
Ah,
There's no middleman between the undersecretary and the secretary. You can go directly to the secretary.
ano
Pero,
Ang
only that?
problema kasi Sas is the president is also the secretary of the DA.
Kaya nga, and he was given an appointment that he is the next in command and among all the other undersecretaries.
Oo.
mm,
Oo.
Yun yung binasa
So,
natin na
pero
July
medyo
15.
confusing siya dahil in the past ang nagpapatakbo ng SRA na yan ay
Admin.
ang DA secretary at saka yung administrator. Most of
Ah.
the time because the DA secretary is the one who recommends a person to the president to be appointed to the SRA. And usually, yung SRA na yan ay na magiging administrator ay USEC din yan kasi ex officio yan yung chairmanship dyan. So USEC din yan ng siguro DA or ng something else, but it stands to reason why ang iniisip ni Sebastian when he was first assigned as the alternate of the DA secretary, suddenly he is higher than Serafica. Diba, Japes? Because in the past, Serafica was higher than he in position there in that DA thing. And then
talaga?
suddenly ngayon, mas mataas na siya kay Serafica kasi siya yung alternate ni ni Bongbong Marcos as DA
Bongbong.
secretary. Oh. So, powerful na siya.
Hmm.
'Di ba? As chairman, so dahil ang usually ang nangyayari nga kagaya ni sinasabi ko, yung administrator ng SRA is recommended by the DA secretary, which now in this case is the president himself. Siya ang magre-recommend kung sino ang magiging chairman nitong meeting na to. Itong SRA na to. 'Di ba? And in the past, hindi man 'di ba yung chairman Japes is the administrator or the
No, the chairman is
yung
the chairman is the administrator is the chairman according to the law.
But in this case, because this is unique
But,
now
but since
Yun nga.
the time of William Dar, there seemed to be
Iniba
a
nila.
change. We do not
Yes.
know what caused that change. Pwede yung sugar something act which was in 2015, or maybe because of that transition in its classification as a GOCC. We do not know exactly what, but
siguro
the
nga,
fact is, when Bongbong took over, ang pumipirma
That
talaga
was it.
niyan at ang chairman niyan became ex officio assignment of the DA
DA
secretary.
secretary. Yes.
Kaya
Because-
si Bongbong. Kaya si Bongbong yung
Ang chairman, naging chairman. Kasi doon sa charter niyan, the way to appoint the administrator of that is yun nga as I described. Pero I think that is consistent with the theory of JP na GOCC na nga siya. Kasi ang GOCC because that is a government controlled and owned and or controlled corporation. Sorry, hold on. ang participation ng government dyan in that name, government-owned or controlled, is the delegation of the DA secretary or any representative of the president in the board, the board of trustees of this
Usually sa mga
DOCC.
GOCC. Yeah, and that
And
classification to GOCC was made by Gloria pa.
That explains why si Dar, who was the DA secretary, became the chairman of that, because that is how a GOCC gets hold on.
And not only that, even if na approved na to yun ni Gloria noong 2007, yung kanilang reorganization ng Department of Agriculture only happened in 2010 or 2011, something like that. Okay?
Pero at ayun na nga na very, babalik tayo kay President Duterte. So, President Duterte promised na walang endo, di ba? Na matitigil ang endo sa kanyang time. Pero when the policy was presented to him, hindi niya ito inaprubahan, hindi ba? Kasi nga because it's too sweeping or something like that.
Because Gokongwei will be affected.
Oo. Pero ang nun, the president is the final decision maker. Kasi alam mo yun, na parang iniisip ko kasi JP Ahmed, the agriculture is a flagship issue of Bongbong Marcos during the election.
Mm-hmm.
Diba, dapat you'd be more circumspect about handling this issue kasi ito yung ito talaga yung centrality ng kanyang kampanya, really food security, self-sufficiency, anything related to agriculture. Na parang magdidobling ingat ka na, oh wait, parang this would not be aligned with the the campaign promises of the president. Baka pwede mo nang i-consult ang presidente regarding this. Kasi the president is not in the meeting. The board, the supposed board meeting. And wala pa akong naririnig na the president was informed about, what happened sa meeting. Na-inform lang siya, may pirmado na resolution or something like that.
But obviously, what we see here, is that SR number 4 was already ready since April pa. Okay?
Before Bongbong Marcos. So,
alright.
Talagang may forces talaga na ipinipili talaga ito na, to approve SR.
And I am sure in his rounds in the areas that are affected by this, which would be Tarlac, the whole Visayas, and some parts of Mindanao, two regions in Mindanao, he would have made the same promises that Subiri also made, or alam mo yun, enunciated in his speech in the Senate, okay, which we already flashed. So these were campaign promises. And to the Tapos, okay, you know that you can make all the promises you want to make during the campaign. But after the election, no one will remember that. And you can do whatever you like. And kung baga, what I see here is, kaya nila kino-question si Trixie at saka actually hindi si Trixie ang kalaban nila dyan. Si Bongbong Marcos mismo. Because why didn't you get the memo na yung mga pangako natin ng eleksyon na kinakalimutan lang naman talaga dapat yan?
Kaya nga, he decided to stick with the plan.
Ito, may usapan na yun na pagkatapos ng eleksyon, di papasok na yung importation na yan. Okay, now, what are the possible effects given that data that we saw here? Okay. Mahalaga pa lang, and I just realized it now, na kung yung ating tiningnan kanina na 77,000 na dumagdag yun panahon ni Duterte, Ahmed? Yung mga 5 hectares and below. If you hit the sugar industry, the first ones to go will not be the oligarchs, but the small farmers. The small farmers, the ones who only have a 5 hectare plot. And if these people get hurt, the first thing they will do is sell those lands.
Hindi kaya ano to? Isn't this like hitting two birds with one stone? Kasi alam naman natin na may
Many
mga
birds, actually.
many birds
Yeah.
kasi alam naman natin na may mga kalaban na nakikinabang din sa sugar
Oh,
mga
not
sugar
only
daddy.
that, Cass.
Marami
Not
sugar
only
daddy.
that, Cass.
Oh
Not
my,
only
oh
that,
my, I just got
sa gobyerno ni Duterte ay may mga stragglers, may mga sleepers na dilaw.
Yeah.
Ayun nga, di ba? May mga sugar daddies na kung malusot o di bongga meron tayong pera. Kung hindi makalusot, then bongbong would look weak as a leader.
Exactly.
Yep, and not only that. Imagine this number. You will have this much hungry families.
Ayun na nga, di ba? Na ano siya, very
You know,
very destabilizing.
74,000.
Oh, nga, we understand, James. And that is why
Matik
SAS
yan.
wants to say that is a right for a revolution or a regime change na naman.
Yes.
Kung pumasok yung sugar, ano na yan, it's not only the, kasi itong mga, yung 650, 800, ganyan, na mga kasike, mga kadugo namin, mga kamag-anak ko, ng mga hasyendero, hindi naman kami maapektuhan masyado eh. Di ba? Konting bawas sa ikikita. Okay lang. Mani Pangilinan nga, can play both sides eh. He is in the manufacturing of food and he's also in the manufacturing of whatever, of the sugar.
Of
Kapag
everything.
nag-import, panalo siya. Kapag hindi mag-import, panalo pa rin siya kasi nandun din siya sa mga kasike. Okay? So,
Kung gusto niya mag-import at merong kumakalaban, gamitin niya yung media para magkampanya.
Sinong tunay na tatamaan? Yan yung maliliit. 74,000.
And ayun na nga, it's very easy to foment a discontent among
yes.
these people. Kasi ano to malapit sa bituka yung issue na to And kaya yung ano nga, maganda yung pinakita mo yung sinabi ni Miguel Zubiri a month before the election na ayaw niya. And true enough, sinabi mo na yun na nga na maraming ma-affect ang farmers na he knew in April na if he supported this would cost this might cost
Hindi
him
siya
the
mananalo.
Election.
Hindi siya mananalo.
Walang kandidatong mananalo. Isipin mo kung gaano ano yan? Ikaw, Ahmed? Nagpi-play na, hindi pa?
Rinig nyo?
Taka lang ito lang
Narinig nyo?
Taka lang, saglit lang ito lang. Tingnan mo lang kung gaano ka galit yung rhetoric
Sino nasasabi niya si Zubiri?
No. Yung sinasabi ng, ano ba to? Ito ba yung gabi? Ito yung gabi, sorry.
Hindi yan.
Dapat yung umaga, yung alas 12. Yung side ng mga yung side ng mga
Farmers.
Ordinaryong tao, yung side ng farmers 8 yan, so malamang ito yon. Okay.
Mga
Yung side ng
planters.
farmers, kung ano ang binibitawang salita.
Ng politiko.
Of court. Hindi, binibitawan nung industry group. Di ba?
Yeah.
The moment si Rapika signs and makes the draft
Yeah.
official, we will hold him to court. So ibig sabihin, if they made Bongbong Marcos look like he was the one who signed, they will hold him to court.
for contempt and
seek his arrest.
seeking
Okay.
arrest. Ano to?
Okay.
For acting on a matter called by the Regional Trial
No,
Court.
SO4. SO4 yan, SO4. We're talking about SO4. And then sabi pa dito,
Pina-restraining order kasi nila yan .
kaya nga, and sabi pa dito, I will personally bring sugar for Mr. Serapica's coffee in his jail. Ganyan sila magsalita.
Sino si Mr. Lamata?
Ano
He
yan?
is the-
Planter organization.
Organization.
Patingin nga, planter organization.
Yung
sila yung mga sugarcane farmers.
Unifed.
Unifed pala to. Hindi ba kasi, alam mo, ang nakikita ko kasi dito, di ba, there were already resistance na Bongbong Marcos to become the Department
DA
of
secretary.
Cultural Secretary. Kasi iba talaga pag presidente yung secretary dyan, you know, hindi mo basta-bastang mababali yung utos ng ng cabinet secretary kasi presidente yan eh.
Hmm.
You know, as I see this, no, this is all part of, trying to prevent him from further being the DA secretary. Kasi yun
Hindi na,
talaga
no?
lumalabas eh. Yun talaga yung lumalabas. Can you imagine? So as early as now, makikita ka na someone's signing on your behalf. Maybe
Yeah.
later on sa iyong administration, you could pull this off. You could pull this off kasi pagod ka na. You could just delegate tasks kasi so much trouble hunting the country as your.
And on this issue na hindi questionable kung ano yung magiging reaction ng industry, because this issue nag-verbalize na yung industry pag pinirmahan niya. So this one they're only threatening Serapika. But take that as if they mean whoever signs that, we will fight. Diba?
Well, that's the
So
message.
putting the president's name there, making him look like he approved it, is actually putting him into the lion's mouth.
So now.
Pagkagating.
Okay. So looking at the facts, the fact na si Sebastian ang pumirma niyan at pinakita niya sa presidente, hindi ba siya yung naging King David or the savior of the Jewish people? Hindi siya yung presidente. Kasi siya yung pumirma, kaya sa kanya napunta yung flak.
No,
Hindi sa presidente.
4 because if hindi yun siya napigilan o hindi naalala, and then it went off at hindi mababawi, alam mo yun, at naunang mag-react itong mga to.
Remember that's consistent because they leaked it to the media before they even told the president about it.
Yes,
Or the DA
Not
secretary
only
about it.
that very night.
Imagine,
Yeah, go ahead.
the Palace mentioned, Trixie mentioned yung sabi ni Bongbong Marcos na hindi niya pinapayagan ng importation ng sugar. August 10. August 10 din, lumabas yung
Right before.
SO number 4. It even reached yung S&P Global na isang, most read commodity magazine on commodity prices, like something like that. That quick. Can you imagine? The SO number 4 was signed on August
At night.
7?
9th yata.
Nine.
Gabi.
The day before.
Kinabukasan nag-meeting. Linggo yata yung pirmahan na yan. Linggo.
Yeah, basta the
Linggo?
day before.
So they might know already that the president will reject the proposal.
Yes, that's true. And if he was not able to stop it, or if Trixie was not in the lion mode and then stop it immediately, these people who were willing to hold Serapika's ass into there's 70,000 of them. And 70,000 meaning 70,000 owners of a plot, and each plot may be employing more than that. Okay? Multiply mo na yan by 10. So you have about 700,000 people, individuals, directly affected.
Mag-rally.
Paano kung naunang mag-rally yan? Nakarating dito at nagwala, or di kaya nagsunog ng mga ng mga anong tawag nito, mga fields doon sa Negros, o di kaya nagmarcha dito sa Manila kasi
So
hindi
ito
nalaman.
this is really concerning kasi pag mga ganito kasing issue, kita mo, these are open source information. Itong issue sa SO number 4, even before even during the Duterte administration. Now you know that there will be this resistance.
Did you hear the media ever mention that they know about this?
No.
No, hindi nila binibring out, no.
No one. Even the Senate is trying to ano yan? Even the Senate President.
Diba?
No one is bringing this up.
Diba? Pero if you are working for the president, of course you have already researched this issue, no?
I don't
Hello,
think so.
this is like open
I think
source
so, I think
information.
That they know that this is an old issue.
They know that
I
this
don't
is an
know.
open issue. They know that there is resistance from UNIFED. na
Election nga,
70,000.
Tips eh.
Kaya nga, because Bongbong's team, they don't know this. They were not in government yet.
No,
doesn't
not the
matter.
team, but Bongbong knew about it.
Yes, about the issue.
So
Diba?
he is the rogue one. He is the rogue politician.
Yes.
All the rest of the politicians have gone back on their word on the campaign trail. This guy is rogue. He's stuck with the farmers. He's stuck with his people who are
And the
getting
good
ready
thing,
to.
good thing he did. Pero di ba, ang sinasabi ko nga sa iyo even the
Pero
DTI
tinitira pa rin siya ngayon.
yes, because
Diba?
the problem here is the industry. His problem here
Tingnan
is
mo,
not really the user ng sugar tayo who only buy 1 kilo per month. Hindi naman tayo
kaya nga.
nakikado ito
Yung
Ang
gumagawa
apektado
ng
nito-
coke, yung gumagawa
Yung
ng pagkain ng ice cream dyan, yan ang mga apektado dyan. Pero pagka yan ang
Sige.
apektado, magsasara yan, yung mga trabahante nila, ang bottom line dyan.
O di, si ano yan, kunwari isa na lang sa mga apektado. O, di ba si RFM? Apektado sa ganyan, RFM. Di ba si
Ayoko.
Concepcion? Concepcion. Concepcion.
Exception.
Concepcion. Di ba? Go negosyo. Dating may-ari ng DTI.
Pero tingnan mo. Yung tumitira sa kay Trixie, they say na yung sinasabi ni Trixie seems to them na hindi suportado ng presidente, meaning ang presidente ay pro importation. Yun yung kanilang inuendo diyan.
No one is
Kasi-
against.
Ano
Di ba?
one is against?
No one is against importation. But
Except Trixie. Except Trixie.
No. Even, di ba, ang sinabi lang naman ni Trixie is, kailangan
illegal.
pinag-aaralan yan and there should be a balancing act. by the
Balancing
government.
act.
Yes,
ang
di ba?
sabi naman ni Trixie kasi, itong importation
That's
order na ito, hindi ito sang-ayon si President. This particular
This
importation
particular
order.
Yes.
Wala naman siya sinabi na in toto na
Ayaw
I'm against.
Kasi nga
importation.
ito nga yung sitwasyon natin di ba?
Mm.
Anong gagawin natin sa kakulangan na yan? Di ba?
So
By next year, we will really need it.
anong objective ng mga ng mga attackers? Ano objective nila?
Okay.
Aside from the diverting the attention because they cannot keep us confused and
You know what
therefore
the
give it up
objective
and
is?
forget it and look at TikTok.
You know
Hold
what
on.
the objective is?
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Kaya nga.
Because they might be able to fool a lot of people, but they can't fool us. Here we are talking about it.
The objective is
So,
very
what the hell?
simple. Timing. Because
Exactly.
we really need that 300,000. But
Yeah, we need it anyway.
no.
we need it
But
anyway.
not to arrive at the point when our
September
first
na harvest.
is just about to hit the market ng December, November, where the demand is highest. They wanted to be
Yeah,
here
so,
and
kikita
flood
tayo
the
ng
market
kikita.
in November and December at magkakaroon tayo ng napakaraming asukal at babagsak yung presyo and that will affect these 70,000 farmers.
Alam mo, diyan yung I think, ang keyword talaga diyan, yung sinabi
Timing.
timing. And yung keyword talaga diyan is yung sinabi ni Trixie about the balancing act. Hindi na niya nilay down kung ano yung mga ibabalance. Kasi, you do have these
Nandun yan
farmers.
sa patas.
Diba? You do have the farmers.
Relate it down sa us. It's in the charter of the SRA.
SRA.
In
to
the
do
charter
that.
of the SRA. It's
Kasi kita mo
Kubala.
so you do have the farmers on one side na maapektuhan ng importation. Pero on the other side, if you don't allow the importation, maapektuhan din yung mga
Consumers.
industriya na gumagamit ng sugar like
Sugar,
yung
yeah.
Lubina, etc. And of course, if they cost of production at maapektuhan pag tumaas ang cost of production, you have to lay down you have to fire people kasi the cost of doing business is going to be high. So those are the things that needed to be needed to
Napapire
be
talaga.
banned. And I think ang nangyari kasi dito, parang ang naging everyone knows na you needed to import kasi nga well, this is the report, and we have to just take it
Kukulangin
on
tayo.
good,
Kukulangin tayo.
di ba?
Oh.
Kulang talaga tayo, kulang talaga ng asukal. Pero at the same time, sabi nga ni JP, it's all about timing. When do you import?
When do you need it? Di ba?
This is
And-
not really this is
And
not a technical question.
that was what Trixie was
Political
saying.
question.
At
Yep.
yun yung sinasabi ni
Political
Trixie, balancing
Absolutely.
act, di ba? So you do not just
Exactly.
bring it in at any time you want because you need the 300,000, isasabay mo siya kung kailan lalabas yung produkto mo. Di syempre babagsak yung presyo pero matatakpan ka lang saglit pero basahin mo to
Mm. I know comment, baka malayo.
Oh, yeah, alam naman natin yan.
Hindi,
Ito
boom,
yung ano.
di ba? Lahat ng problema natin ngayon nakapalibot
Ito, panoorin mo.
Hmm.
Well, it does involve him. Ito, tingnan natin tong charter ng
I-remove ko ba
whatever
to?
na tong
I-remove ko
tinanggal ko na yan. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wala naman sound to eh. Yan. Go.
What is that?
Yan. Executive Order 18. Yan.
Yeah.
That is the charter of the SRA. Ayan ang nakasulat.
Sa
To promote, to establish, maintain such balance. Yan o, letter B.
A pa
To
lang.
establish and maintain such balance. O, A muna. To institute an orderly system in sugarcane production for the stable, sufficient, and balanced production of sugar for local consumption, exportation, and strategic reserves. B. To establish and maintain such balanced relation between production and requirement of sugar and such marketing conditions as will ensure stabilized prices at a level reasonably profitable to the producers and fair to the consumers.
Yan o.
C.
Yung sa B malinaw. Di ba?
Yeah, yan. Balancing. So it's all over the place now. My question is, if they are doubting these obscurantist ang tawag ko dito sa mga to, they're trying to obscure the issue eh. If they think that the president does not support what Trixie said, Trixie is almost quoting this law
Yeah.
because this law was made by Cory Aquino, being the as a dictator in 1986.
And number 18
This is a Cory Aquino dictator law, and
Okay.
that is what it says there. And Trixie
Imagine
is
how
almost
important.
quoting that.
Imagine how important was the weight of this kind of law to be made right after EDSA revolution to have a number 18.
Kailan to ano? Kailan to pinirmi?
1986.
Anong
Good.
month?
1986 to.
March? Sige, go down, man.
Ano
March.
to? Teka.
March.
Teka.
Nasa baba.
Go down.
Si Joker ang pumirma nito eh. Si Cory din pala. Pero si Joker ang unang pumirma.
Yeah, May. 28th day
Ang
of May.
date. Yeah.
And imagine niyo rin
Yan.
yung Republic Act na sinasabi natin. This is RA 809 out of the first 1,000
Na
laws
yung
that we can
nag-amend.
make. Di ba? No, this was not amended by
Kasama
that.
siya.
This is the original law.
So ano to?
Yeah.
March, April, 3 months after the revolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
18th
diktator
pa
ba
lang.
siya? Diktator ba siya?
18th. Number 18. Imagine mo lahat ng EO nag-i-issue niya dyan and there were about 300. Which includes the
Ito ang number 18.
administrative code. The administrative code is 200 something. So,
209.
even more important, the administrative code is that one. And EO number, ano ba yun, proclamation nga lang ata yung paggawa ng temporary,
GOCC.
no, yung temporary constitution. That was proclamation number 10.
O yung constitution, yung revolutionary
Yes.
constitution niya. People power
So, it is that important. So the sugar industry has always been important to our government. Why? Our first president was Rojas. Rojas
Sugar producer.
Corporation. Yeah, Rojas Sugar Corporation. And we have Cory Tarlac, Azucarera, Central. Sino pa?
Yan.
Ah,
Yung mga Romualdez ba, sugar ba yan sila? Magnet? Hindi.
wala namang sugar dyan sa ano siguro? Sa Samar. Ano ata yun sila? Mga illegal lager ata yun sila. Ano?
At saka mga fishda. Mga fishda yung kanilang ano dyan, produkto. Saka mga
Yung-
NPA.
Sila Marcos naman ata. Mga ano ata yun sila. Bagnet yung sa kanila.
Ay,
Alam mo,
talong farmers yun sila. Go
Ano
ahead,
yun,
Sas.
Sas? Go ahead, Sas.
ang ano ko lang talaga dito is tama yung pagkasabi ng JP talaga na this is about timing. Kasi can you imagine na who could have who could foment an upheaval between yung mga manggagawa doon sa Rubina na matatanggal and the sugar farmers. Certainly, it's the sugar farmers, di ba?
Ito daw sa Ilocos, chichacorn.
Certainly, it's the sugar farmers. Di ba? Talagang
Yes.
ano to eh. Talagang ano talaga to. This is not a technical question. This is not a technical question of when or whether we should or not import it. It's a
Yes,
political question of when.
When? Yeah. When lang talaga.
Yes.
When?
And all the ano,
When?
and all the pushing and pulling that they did, 'di ba, before the elections, itong pinag-usapan natin sina Zubiri. All the pushing and pulling on the issue involving the media in 'di ba, the media was all over the place, and then also international media. At nangialam na nga diyan yung sinabi ng USDA. Oh. So ibig sabihin that part of the drama was preparing for this.
Oo, merong ano siya, it's ano eh, you know, it's in politics it's very hard to disbelieve na it's just a coincidence. Alam mo yun?
Oo.
Exactly.
Subukan ko
But,
nga
what is
makashare ako.
what is not a coincidence, however, yun nga yung rogue action ni Marcos. Na si Marcos, na inasahan nila na tatablahin din ang mga magsasaka niyan. Eh hindi tumabla.
Well, hindi talaga yung tatablahin kasi I think, you know, I think nakita naman natin ng kampanya na Bongbong
May
Marcos
audio ba? Wala.
has mastered the art of timing.
Wala pa rin? Wala pa rin audio?
Wala.
Ba yun?
Pindutin mo kasi yung ano.
Nakatik na.
Mo yung
Nakatik na.
system sound.
Nakatik na. Wala
Alright,
talaga.
alright.
Ayaw lumabas.
Si Subiri talaga eh.
Yeah, yes, because si Subiri yung nakikita natin talagang nag-vacillate, no? 360.
Well,
Kasi kanina, nakita naman natin yung ginawa niyang talumpati sa Senado, no? Befitting of a Senate President. And
Maawa
befitting
pa
of a
siya.
Senator.
Paawa, parang pa-whining pa siya eh.
Mm. And befitting of a fellow haciendero. Di ba? Sa aming lahi ng mga haciendero, talagang yun, humble. Di ba? Parang wala kang alam sa nangyayari.
isn't it Senator Subiri, a sugar baron din ng kanilang...
Si. Pareho kami. Mga sugar barons.
Pareho pala kayo. Okay.
Oh, he belongs to our class, our social
Sugar
class.
ano din yan siya. Sugar family.
He belongs to our social class, you know. Wala
Kaya-
nga audio, hindi ko magawa yung
Natatawa-tawa nga
audio,
ako
sorry.
kanina habang nanonood ako.
Panoorin nyo na lang.
Natatawa-tawa
Hindi yung walang
ako
audio,
kasi
yung kay
he was
Subiri.
talking like ano na lang ang mga may ganito ganyan ang mga itong mga taong blakok, Pepsi, whatever. Tapos so parang wala talaga siyang kaalam-alam. So parang this is all unexpected to him. But in later part, he would slip and he would correct itong kapatid ni Alan Peter
Yeah, si Pia.
na nag-i-interpret. Si Pia, yung correct niya, sasabihin, ganito kasi, nadapa kasi yung mga pagka ganito ganyan. So parang okay, heto na, lumabas ang sugar magnet, niya, evil side. Ayos.
Yeah. So ito, no? So ito ditong issue na to, tingnan nga natin. It's all over the place. It's in GMA, it's in Business World, it's in Inquirer, it's in Star, in the month of April. And even long before that.
Tapos ngayon, wala.
Okay. Long before that. Okay. Ito. Ano ito? Okay, there's an in-between. Noong June 20. Yan. So sabi na nung sugar industry, so si Duterte pa itong presidente nito if you want sugar prices to go down, flood the market. Ayun. Boy,
Sino nagsabi niyan?
Sugar Producers Federation President Manuel Lamata. Yung galit na galit.
Mata.
Oversupply it.
Yung
Sabi
galit,
niya,
yung galit na galit
Ito
na
yung galit.
mag-import tayo.
Ito yung nagalit.
Ito yung nagalit. Na
Ito yung nagalit. Tapos
Anong title ng article na
Jan,
yan?
gusto niya magpa-import na bigla.
No, not him. This is Lamata. No? So the problem when you read it is that it's exclusive for industrials, meaning that all the sugar is for soft drink makers. Yung pala,
Exactly.
how will that bring down prices?
Yun ang sinasabi niya sa pinigilita.
Mr. Lamata said the government should survey sugar mills to forecast supply production. So sino ba talaga ang makikinabang nito? Si RC, malamang RC, si Pepsi, or si Coke. Hindi, sila lang naman yung sugar soft drink makers natin and maybe Zesto, whatever yung mga soft
Zesto.
drinks, no?
Yung mga Gatorade.
Or yung kina Rubina ng mga
Mga
C2,
team, yung mga milk
C2,
tea na ganyan.
mga C2.
Oh, yan,
ganun.
C2.
Yan. So
Yan,
sila pala yung nangangailangan dito. Alright.
So, what Lamata meant by flooding the market and bring it down is to bring the prices down
Sarcastic to, no?
for these oligarchs. Yeah, I know. Bring it down for the oligarchs. And for the people who would need the money and who would need the higher prices for the sugar that they sell, it won't be a very fun situation.
Kasi you know how much they're buying it. They're not buying it at 80 pesos per kilo as we do. Diba? They're buying it so cheap because those are wholesale, bulk transactions. And maybe yung asukal na binibili nila dyan, nakabloke-bloke yan, o hindi natin alam kung ano yung tsura, diba? So, yung industrial use ng sugar, it's not the same sugar that we're using. And so ito pala yung the main target beneficiary of the is the Coke, is the soft drinks or maybe the food manufacturing industry.
Anong title ng article na yan? Ano?
This one, June 20, 2022, Business World. Kay Manny Pangilinan din to.
Ano yung una?
Ito, sugar industry diverting imports from...
Hindi, ano yung unang yung article mo na kay Lamata rin? Yung sinabi
April naman yan. April. It's just here.
April yan.
This one.
Just 1 month before.
April 11, ito. Risk of contempt of court. Now, this federation, United Federation, okay, meron kasi mga federaciones de la Azucareras, okay, na iba-iba yung kanilang sinusuplayan. Some of them are federations that are formed by the groups like this group. May mga federation na meron dyan. Pero some of them are also consolidated na nagsusupply kay Victoria Milling, kay nagsusupply kay Gokongwei, nagsusupply kay Lusutan.
Meron ako
So linya-linya yan sila.
Meron akong news article ng ABS-CBN. It's a video clip.
Okay. Good.
That actually defends and narinig nyo? Narinig nyo yan? I-share ko kasi.
Wala.
Share ko ito.
Ako, inad ko na.
Motherfucker nito. Yun lang.
Saan ba yun? Ba't nawala?
Hindi, ito. Ito, saglit lang. Hindi
Sige.
yan. Ito yun. Ito. Yan.
Yeah.
Administration Board, Roland Beltran,
Ulitin
another
natin, ha?
official of the Sugar Regulatory Administration Board, Roland Beltran, has resigned. Beltran was one of those who signed Sugar Order Number 4, which was sought to import 300,000 metric tons of sugar. But Beltran cites health reasons for his resignation. Beltran follows the resignation of former Agriculture Undersecretary Leocadio Sebastian, who defended his decision to sign the sugar order during a House briefing on Monday.
There is a clear indication of the rapidly diminishing supply of sugar. Current supply is projected to run out in August 2022, this month, and end of crop year 2021-2022. The total annual deficit is attributable to low farm productivity, small farm sizes, and low sugar milling efficiency, among others. And for this year, there is an effect of benefit in the high prices of fertilizer.
He says the importation was needed to protect consumers from a spike in sugar prices.
I cannot stand watching Filipinos suffer from high local prices of sugar that are hurting Filipino consumers. The food and beverage manufacturing subsector is comprised 50% of domestic supply utilization is cramped in their operation. However, I immediately resigned when I knew the President disapproved my action.
Despite Sebastian's statements, several lawmakers urged all those who signed Sugar Order Number 4 to also step down from their posts. The House will hold a formal hearing on the matter on Thursday.
Siguro naman, for delikadesa, no? Dapat mag-courtesy call, hindi lang dapat courtesy resignation, rather. Mag-courtesy resignation, hindi lang po si Undersecretary Leocadio Sebastian, pero lahat po nung pumirma doon sa SO number 4.
Meanwhile, President Bongbong Marcos says there is a possibility that the Philippines will import sugar by the last quarter of 2022.
Maaari, bandang Oktubre, baka yung supply na nandito sa Pilipinas ay paubos na. Baka sakali ay kailangan natin mag-import. Pero kakaunti lang. Hindi kasing dami ng kanilang sinasabi natin 1,000 tons, siguro malaki na yung 150,000 tons para sa buong taon.
Marcos guarantees that the government will not bring in imported sugar unless the local supply has already dwindled.
Ayaw natin mag-import. Ngunit kung hindi sapat ang supply ng pagkain, mapipilitan talaga tayo mag-import. Dahil kung hindi tayo mag-import at mababa ang supply, magtataasa naman ng presyo. Habang ang production pa natin ay inaayos pa natin, napipilitan tayo mag-import. Ngunit tiyakin natin na yung importation hindi naman sobra. Hindi sobra-sobra doon sa pangangailangan.
Cornelio Torreja, president of the Luzon Federation of Sugar, meanwhile says importation of refined sugar should be open to accredited traders with track records, and its use should not be confined to any specific sector, but to the domestic market as a whole. Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN News.
So, ang nakikita natin dito, no, we see how Bongbong Marcos, the president, thinks. You know,
Yeah.
Ang ano kasi dito, Sebastian kasi is a technocrat. He knows, you know, he's just simply crunching numbers na, okay, mawawalan tayo ng asukal, ito ang kailangan, we import. Based lang to dun sa pinakitang excerpt sila. Pero the thing is, you know, if you are not a technocrat, you kind of disregard kasi minsan political aspects of decision. 'Di ba? Na
punong-puno ng asukal yan. Punong-puno ng asukal yan.
Ano yung shamrock?
Oh, pero dito we see na the president, you know, he doesn't disagree na kailangan mag-import. It's really just a question of when.
Time.
Timing.
That is what Trixie said. And therefore now we can see that by that clip of the president talking, we can deduce now with clarity that what Trixie was saying is exactly incongruous with the president's statement. Saktong-sakto. And the inclusion of parang threats to roll heads and all that was premised on the proposal or the statement that there is going to be an investigation because it
There will be
really
punishments.
surprised the president, and therefore there will be punishments, and by
Mm.
that it was completely justified that the indignation on the part of the administration, especially the core group of the president, was present during that meeting na nandoon pa nga si Sebastian.
And not only
Talagang
that,
takutin ko dahil brazen tong ginagawa nila.
hindi lang yan.
Without yet knowing the side of these people, kasi meron na kagad prima facie na mali doon eh. Bakit po meron ka without the chairman's calling a meeting for that purpose, di ba? And you signed it in his behalf. You not only called the meeting in his behalf, you also signed the resolution in his behalf. So that is a prima facie showing of something that is wrong done by the SRA. And for the administration to react with a little bit of indignation and threatening punishment
Assurance.
is justified.
Assurance. And assurance to these
Because that
people.
will
We
stop
don't
like
have to
before.
rally.
Yun nga.
We don't have to hold your
Exactly.
asses into a mass action.
Yeah, all right.
Di ba?
I'll give it to you.
Imaginein mo, times 5 mo na lang yan. Bawat farm yan. Yung
May
isa nga
pakisend
dyan
naman
eh.
sa akin.
My question is
Pakisend
this. Oh.
No?
You want
Jay,
this?
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Now, my question is this. Bakit ang mga media was quick to publish and to make news reports on the SRO, but not that statement of Bongbong Marcos that we just watched? Why didn't we see that in any of the big time media?
JP, pakisend sa akin tong document na to. Well,
Angkitin mo
Ahmed,
kasi ako,
ha?
isang dambana ng... I-message kita and then I'll send you the link.
Kahit
Bigay
dito
mo
sa
yung link.
private.
Ano ba yan? Bigay mo na yung link.
Here. Here.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see the private chat?
Yes. Pero
Okay.
ayun na nga,
Kita niya,
Ahmed,
kita niya.
alam naman natin that the media is anti-Marcos. They will not, katulad kay President Duterte, the president is very popular. So the way to chip away the popularity of the president, you go through the people of the people around him.
Yeah.
Ngayon, the obvious target is the press secretary kasi siya talaga yung nagsasalita, unlike before kay President Duterte, marami ka pwede maging target kasi everyone would like to have the limelight and act as a spokesperson and say their piece of
and
mind.
Duterte himself would not stop talking.
Yes, exactly. Alam mo yon. Ngayon kasi, the press secretary is really, the serving as the sole mouthpiece of the president. Kaya talagang obvious talaga na siya talaga yung matitira dito and that's a way to chip away the popularity of the president. Kasi this is not a technical question of whether we should import or not. I think everyone is in agreement.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can actually destroy the market by flooding it and then paano mo yun, yung bigla mo siyang lalakasan tapos mababawasan. Ang importante dito yung controlled yung influx
Balance.
ng foreign
Yes.
source.
Kaya nga. Because
Exactly.
this country will die if you imported or did not import. So either way, may problema tayo dyan. So now that is why the charter of this SRA is it's so replete with the word balance. Di
So
ba?
isipin mo gaano karami yung 300,000 metric tons. Doon pa lang sa storage niyan. We're only used to
Hindi
storing
magkakasya yan sa
so
storage.
much,
At saka hindi
so
masisip
many,
yan in one go.
So, saan mo yan nilalagay? So, one of those days na bumulusok yan, and then bumulusok din yung galing sa ating mga millers, the direct effect will be, wala tayong mapaglagyan nito, benta natin ng mura yung galing sa local. Yun.
Well,
At sinong magwawelga?
Well, ganun talaga kasi Syempre, yung hindi mo masustore, yung hindi mo ma-hoard JP, yun ang ibebenta mo.
Yeah.
Kaya nga.
Uunahin mo.
Paano yan? With the law that says, hati sila lagi. Ha? Pag sinabi ni Milo, wala akong mabentahan eh. Baba presyo ngayon eh. 60-40 tayo dito.
60-40 sila lagi.
Yan. Pag sinabi ni Manny Pangilinan, Rojas. Diba? Rojas. Hindi, pumasok yung imported eh. Kaya, ang baba ng presyo ngayon ng ano natin. 60-40 tayo dito sa mababang presyo. Ikaw no farmer, nandito ka sa 5 hektarya, yung deduction mo lang ng 20% dun sa presyo, sunog ka na dun sa yung pinagkautangan ng inputs mo. Papa.
Fiesta naman yung mga users sugar using industries.
Kita mo yung problema, kita mo talaga ha, ang problema dito itong problema na hinaharap ng Marcos administration. The promise is really to bring down the prices, 'di ba? Pero at the same time, gusto mo na kumita yung farmers, 'di ba? And we know that the one of the easiest ways to bring down the prices is to flood the market, 'di ba? With agricultural produce through importation. Ngayon, when you do that, the farmers would be affected.
Wala nang bibili sa kanila eh. Mas bibili nila yung mas mahal eh. Ay, mas magandang quality, refined sugar, mga ganyan.
Yeah.
Sabi kasi ni Sebastian kanina that we have inefficient milling, processes and all that stuff. So, meron nga talagang substandard yung ating mga sugar when we try to refine them here. When we are flooded with refined sugar, which is flooding the market, yun ang bibilhin ng mga sugar using industries, hindi yung sa mga farmers. Wala silang ability to compete with that. So, 2 oras na tayo, James.
Well, that's the thing kasi with
Yeah, go ahead, Sas.
well, that's the problem with a totally laissez-faire system. Itong talagang gusto nila i-liberalize yung market. They think na when you Oo,
James, wala ka sa
oras.
James, wala ka
Yeah.
sa. Huwag mo pindutin ha, akong pipindot. Yan.
Okay na.
Pero yun na nga, that's the problem, no? With ito yung nagkukol ng complete liberalization of the market. They think na when you supply the market with a lot of products, is may encourage yung iba na mag-compete. But the problem is, hindi ganon. They could just easily, become an importer rather than
Cacique.
wala kang sound, JP.
Hindi, rather Cacique.
Diba? They could just easily become an importer rather than producer and abandon farming altogether. Kasi mas profitable yung mag-import kaysa mag-produce ka eh. Diba? Kaya nga, ang doon, we all know why it is we all know that it's inefficient. Parang wala namang kaso dun.
Yeah. But okay, even the NEDA, No, even the NEDA is not. Okay, NEDA is aware that there will be advantages for the consumer. It will end up with lower prices, but they're also not really. Okay, this is not just NEDA. This is the independent third party study group. Okay, so alam nila that there will be an effect of this much. Okay, after liberalization, okay, there will be an 11% no, na reduction. Okay? Declining prices by 11% in sugar, declining employment 7 to 16%, and declining sugarcane production. Okay, so lahat magde-decline sa sugar industry. And on the other hand, food manufacturing industries, okay, using sugar would increase output by 1%, and that is much bigger than the decline in the sugar industry. And employment, 1.1%. And reduction in prices. So, ang consumer naman talaga yung magbe-benefit. That is a given. Alright? And we know that. Okay? And ito yung sinasabi din ng NEDA. Pero ang sinasabi nila, no, all told, would favor the rich more than the poor. Ito sabi.
Yes, definitely. Especially the farmers. Kasi,
kaya, ito yung sabi ng NEDA. It would favor the rich more than the poor. Kaya hindi rin sila masyadong agit na ipatupad ng gobyerno.
Yeah. Hindi sila sold masyado.
pinadala mo na sa akin yung JP. Yan ba
you have it. Yan yung NEDA. This is very important that we take this into consideration because this is the basis of government policy, yung mga sinasabi ng NEDA. Yeah? All this would be at a clear cost to the sugar industry stakeholders, while industrial users of sugar would benefit. The impact on them appears relatively modest. Yun. So si Manny Pangilinan, most especially, who is on both sides, yung impact sa kanya, wala masyado.
May papabasa ako sa iyo, Dave. May papabasa ako.
Go. Asan ba? Saan mo papadahin mo? O, yun, no?
Dali. I-share ko ngayon. I-share ko muna, saglit lang. Kasi pampagulo tong ads nito.
Tingnan mo, ito yung sinasabi nyo.
Kasi ito yung ating
ito yung importante sa atin, no? Tayong mga consumer, it is only a small part of our family budget. Yung para bang kung takutin tayo mawalan tayo ng asukal na para tayo mawalan ng bigas, hindi po. Ilang kilo bang bigas
hindi naman yung ganyan
sa isang buwan? Di ba? Ang talagang apektado dito, yung gumagawa ng ice cream, gumagawa ng coke, gumagawa ng
yung mga farmers.
Hindi po tayo. Kaya pag sinabing naaawa kami sa consumer, hindi po.
Hindi tayo yung consumers na sinasabi nila. Well, we are still the end consumers of Coke.
Yeah. Asan yung play mo? Sige.
Ito. Ang daming ads po siya. Hindi mo na mabasa. Ayan, sige, lagay. Pwede na. Tingnan mo ang
Manila Bulletin? Ano yung sabi?
Tingnan mo yung headline.
Ano talaga?
Ayan, Kita mo kung sino nagsasabi niyan.
Concepcion.
This is August 15. Ngayong araw to. Ay, kahapon.
Okay. Sabi niya,
ayan,
it protects the consumers daw? Why?
Policy protects farmers and consumers.
Why consumers?
Don Negosyo founder Joey Concepcion commended President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos for considering importing sugar only if the country's current stock would be insufficient by October this year. Sweet techno. Concepcion said this following the foiled illegal importation bid of 300,000 metric tons of sugar with the Sugar Regulatory Administration last week. In a statement, the former Duterte administration advisor said Marcos was right in his decision to limit the importation of sugar to protect farmers and consumers. Correct daw siya, sabi. Concepcion was referring to Marcos' recent vlog where he said that he would consider importing sugar only if current stock from local production previous importations will be insufficient come October, which is the same thing that we heard when this first happened, di ba? Na
Mm.
Trixie was talking about it's not good to do this now because in September we will be harvesting. And
Siya
when
yan.
we harvest, the sugar would start um, going to the market at around October, November until December.
Hindi siya
And that
gumagamit
is the
ng
time.
asukal, no?
Ha?
Hindi siya makikinabang kapag mag-import, no?
Sabi niya, hindi daw siya makikinabang.
Sabi niya, hindi siya makikinabang. Mabuti daw, mabuti. Maganda.
Mabuti daw
Yan.
yun.
Yung sangkis, yung hindi naman to gumagamit ng asukal lahat eh. Hindi naman sila yung industrial user na sinasabi eh. Hindi po sila yun. Hindi po yung mu, selecta.
Diba? Tayo ba yan? Hindi naman tayo yan eh. Well, we are the end users but we are not going to be directly
pero hindi siya
affected by the
makikinabang.
import. Yeah.
Hindi siya makikinabang.
Hindi siya
So
makinabang
pag nawalan
siya,
daw
si
ng
Joe.
asukal,
Wala yung epekto sa kanya.
siya kasi dati may-ari ng ng DTI.
May-ari.
Siyempre, si Lopez tao niya yun eh. Kaya nga meron tayong mga pinapatupad ng mga pagre-raid sa mga tindahan eh dahil kay Lopez eh.
Oh, that's funny because that kind of rhetoric resurfaced about yesterday. Yung advice ni Manny Piñol na sige parade mo yung mga yan, and then the Senate is also yesterday was talking about flash inspection, sabi.
So sino nga ba yung sinasabi mo sa SNANO? Si Mr. Danny? Danny?
Sugar daddy daw.
Who is that Danny? Danny is Danny. I do not know. Pero ano daw ang hearing natin about Danny? Ano daw siya?
Baka nandun sa C9 na document. Mukhang may Danny doon eh.
Ang apektado daw dito yung mga smugglers. Sabi, ang cute ng bata oh. Konnichiwa. Kaya sabi ni Ray, kaya, sige, ano na tayo? Magpahinga na tayo.
Wait. Paalam na tayo. Kasi gabi na.
Yes,
Masyado na.
magpaalam tayo. Pero, mag-music tayo.
Bye. Salamat po. Maraming salamat, Sas, for being here.
Hey, Sas, thank you. Thank you. Sa mga nanonood sa atin ngayon, thank you din sa inyo sa pag-antabay and talagang hindi nyo kami iniwanan.
Ang dami, 200 pa sila, nandito pa.
Yep, and then dito, 600 mil bags sa raw sugar daw. Yeah, where do you put that, di ba? Grabe. Ano pa? Pagbigyan natin itong ng konti, yung ating mga friends dito na nagko-comment ng ang gusto ng mga butlers, ano daw? High fructose. Benedictus fructus ventris. Magsimba sila. Meron doon. Benedictus fructus ventris. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus.
Blessed are you, the fruit of your womb, Jesus.
Matagal nang pinahirapan yung
Nandun
mga
yan sa San
farmer.
Perina.
Kung gusto nila ng fructose, magsimba sila. Benedictus fructus ventris. 18. Okay, sino pa mga dito? Magandang gabi. Sorry, late. Ayan. So, yun talaga niwaga. Sino yung naglabas ng SO number 4 sa video? Yan ang magandang.
Yun nga ang tanong.
Sino
kaya
yung
kumuha
ano?
nun?
You
naglabas.
got it. Tsaka lumabas yan, maaga ko rin yung nakita sa Twitter eh. Tapos nawala. Yun lang. Yun. Magandang issue. Sino yung leak? Sabi ni thanks. Hindi nakakalusot dito yung mga hitting many birds with one stone. Yes. Dami talaga. Who is that Hawaii Philippines Corporation? But it seems to be a very old one.
Ano din yan?
Made in
Miller
1919 pa
yan.
naman. Yeah, 1919 pa naman. Laurel lang liak pala yung sinasabi niya kanina, pre. Yung mga tarif. Okay. So, yun. No? Ang dami nating mahagip dito because this is a very, very ancient issue actually. Issue na may kinalaman sa not only ekonomiya, at pati yung mga human rights issues. At kung hindi nyo kung hindi nyo masyadong pansinin, in fact, yung communist movement ng Pilipinas is also very, very connected to the plight of our farmers in this very, very unjust setup. In fact, there is a statistic from the PSA, no? Na hindi ko na-share kanina, which you can actually check na lang sa psa.gov, which shows the title is this. It's just a 6-pager. Selected indicators for agriculture and forestry establishments with total average
I
employment.
didn't understand that.
What the hell is that?
And si Google. So it shows here the just an example in sige, dito tayo sa Visayas. Western Visayas. Okay. The growing of sugarcane and muscovado sugar making in the farm. There are 162 daw. Because this is an old one, this is a 2001 data. Hindi pa ganun karami. There are 162 farms. Okay? Employing an average of 124. So sinasabi natin kanina, yung 5, yung marami yan, times mo yan. And each person daw, ang average daw nila nakita ay 2001 to na data, average compensation 2,666. Pero yung kanyang revenue per employment is 83,509. Gets nyo yun? Each employee, kung i-divide mo yung total revenue ng farm, divide mo by the number of employees, ang contribution per employee is 83,509. At ang napunta sa kada, 2,666. So you contribute 80,000, you get 2,000. Wow! Ang tindi naman talaga ng industriya niyan. But this is a 2001 data. I haven't seen a new one, no, by the PSA. But you can look it up. Matindi naman talaga buhay dyan. Kaya konting drop dun sa mga porsyento ng presyo na makaka-apekto dun sa 80 mil na ngayon na mga nakatanggap ng share sa CARP na nadagdagan nung panahon ni Digong ng napakarami. 15 mil na farms. So they want to show this whole setup be a failure. So good night and sana kayo ay maliwanag. Ikaw na mag-play?
Ikaw na.
Ano bang gusto nyo? Ay, siyempre, malungkot tayo kasi nakakalungkot ng balita na to. Pero habang tayo naliliwanagan, mag-muni-muni tayo kay Musikerong Panday.
Alon ng kapalaran, tumigil na sa iyong pang-aabuso sa akin. Ako'y nasindak ng alurin sa baybayin ng kahirapan at kalungkutan. Ang tindi ng sinabi ng aking kapalaran. Yurak na aking dangal, wala nang lugar pa akong masisilungan o alon ng kapalaran. Sana'y tumigil na. Ang tindi ng sinabi ng aking kapalaran, wala na akong pag-asa, yurak na aking dangal, wala nang lugar pa akong masisimulan